Hello, everybody. Welcome along to URS once again. It is season 3, round number 5 of the season. We are here for the Singapore Grand Prix, and we are, after today, going to be a third of the way into the season. I am your main commentator, your play-by-play commentator, your league owner, Ryan Ocon31. Last week, Thrasher missed out on commentary. He's back once again. Welcome back, Thrasher.
Yes, thank you. Had some stuff I had to take care of last week,
No worries.
before going away to college. So I
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm glad to be back, and can't wait for today.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel the same exact way as you. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the action. You missed out a little bit last week, but I think you also may have watched it back. I don't remember if you did or not, but you know, either way, we're back, and I think we'll be getting a full grid here in just a moment. Just waiting on, I think, 2 people to join. An AlphaTauri
And Coach
and
Stag said he had to
an
restart the
Alfa
game,
Romeo.
and then we're waiting on
Okay.
Lando.
Either way, chat, welcome along. Let's get your predictions for this week as well. But in regards to, I guess, predictions, I think the predictions last week went over pretty well for some of us. Last week, Bahrain, it was, for the first time, Com45 winning. He held off Pluto. He took his first win. And Kostag completed the podium after Pluto. He had a little bit of contact with Alistair quite a bit during the race. Alistair, due to a lot of, I guess, penalty points now, you could say, a lot of issues he had with Kostag during the race, has now accumulated himself up to a race ban for this race. Last week as well at Bahrain, Brew Gorgon had an accident on lap 18. He had rear wing damage. He could have made it back to the pit lane going slower, but he was not making any attempt to save the car or anything, which assumes that he is crashed intentionally. Also, hit the clip too, so that's got him a race ban. Not only that, but we have reserves replacing them. We'll get to that in a moment. Just waiting on Kostag and Lando to join, but last week the standings kind of shaped up to allow Pluto as well with a sprint race win to pull away in the championship. Not only is Pluto pulled away, but Kostag is now taking over second place from Sam.
Yeah. Obviously, me missing it last week, but Coach Stag has been on a nice roll lately. He had a great race at Jeddah. He's had obviously he had a great race last week with getting podium. He just missed the podium in Britain. Was P4 there, and then obviously I told you about Jeddah. So he's been on a nice little roll ever since his DNF in round one in Australia. So it's good to see. We see that we've gotten a nice little streak of points here from Kostag. But yeah, Sam has been on the opposite of that streak. He's been on a cold streak. Um, Obviously, the only really points finish he majorly had as of recent was the P2 at Britain. But we all know if you remember what happened in that race, he blew a tire, had a puncture on the last lap, and could not hold off Pluto for the win, but was able to hold on to the podium. So unlucky, but yeah, nice couple battles here and throughout the points.
Yeah, most definitely. Just trying to see. Oh, Lando's coming. Kostag coming, I think. Just gonna see on Kostag, but yeah, I mean, we returned to Singapore, for the first time since season 1, and back in season 1, it was also round number 5 as well, and it was the night race, that it was back then. The other thing I think that's also worth mentioning too, Thrasher, was back in this race, I know there was the controversial incident with Davis and Pluto, and then last season there was a controversial incident again with Davis. Davis won both races on track. Davis has not scored a single point to start the season and has had a trouble filling start to the season. Do you think today is where it turns around?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Because my mic cut out.
Oh, regarding round five, Davis has had a trouble filling start to the season, and he's won both times on track in round five. Do you think that's where it changes today? The
Uh,
season changes around?
it could for him. Davis has been kind of unlucky. The start of the season. However, I do know that Singapore is not his strong suit. But all he has to do is keep it clean. And when we've seen the chaos that's happened in these first couple races, towards the end. So all we gotta do, keep it clean, keep it mid-pack at least, and he's got a shot for maybe a podium, maybe if he's lucky enough, maybe a win.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll go over. I think the penalties to be started is really big going over. Alistair race ban due to the penalty points. Gorgon race ban, and that's really it. No active penalties, time penalty wise, or anything such as that. So, obviously, everything's cleared and cleaned out of the way. So, chat, we got everyone watching. Let's also go over the reserves and people returning this week. Making their first starts this week, John in the Aston Martin. John, a driver from over in BRL ACC, BRL Realistic. It's good to see him over here. It's also good to see that he is in the Aston Martin. J&T not here again this week. Polo God needing a reserve teammate. These two raced each other back in ARL 2 years ago, around that time. So obviously, with them two being teammates, they have a bit of history racing on track. Not any bad history, but it's good to see that John is here reserving for the first time again today. Another first time reserve and driver is HC Raindrop. HC Raindrop joining Pluto alongside in Haas today. HC Raindrop, part of the NRL group. That NRL group has Jab, Davis, all them here. Even TJR, they really get along well, and I think they have a good chemistry together to where, even if HG Raindrop doesn't maybe have a setup coming into this race or whatever, they're able to help him along with that. And let's say the race is wet, we'll find out. But the two other reserves in this race include Riles in the McLaren and Schott in the Alpine. That is really it. 16 full-time drivers here today, showing up, but a full grid here in Singapore.
Yeah, definitely. Singapore obviously is a chaotic track, to say the least. There's so much stuff can happen. So to have a full grid, it's kind of shocking, but kind of not shocking at the same time. But it's just great to see 20 drivers out to try and get a win.
Most definitely. So, started qualifying. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what the cutoff times are. Let's see what the top of the time is going to be to beat. Season 1 saw the largest pole gap regarding Sam Steed and Pluto. And apparently, from the drivers, they're saying rain 45 minutes in, so it's going to rain at the end. 84% chance at the end. I'm going to ask what's the percentage before. What's their percentage before that? Drivers probably are wondering. It goes to 92% at 60 minutes in. So, we saw Thrasher in Season 1, it started to rain at the end of the race. And it also rained at the beginning as well. I sort of wonder, we're going to see a different type of race like that, where you have to be on the right tire at the right time. Do you think it could be enough for inners? I mean, what do you go with? Are you if you're a driver in the situation, do you go with a dry setup, a wet setup? What's going to be the case here if you're a driver in this race?
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to right timing. Your timing is what has to be on point. That's what I'm starting to think. Singapore has a history in some leagues of it deciding that it's too dry or enters, but it's too wet for dries.
Yes.
So hopefully we don't see that again. But you said it was 64% at 45 and then 92 at 60.
So yeah, no, from what I see, it's plus 30 plus 30 minutes in, it's 7%. Plus 45 minutes in, it's 84%. So it's somewhere. It's gonna rain at some point. So it's somewhere between that 7% to, or sorry, not 7%. Sorry, it goes from 7% to 84% from the 30-minute in to 45-minute in range. So that's going to matter on the safety cars we have, Thrasher. That's going to be a big part. And, you know, you include, let's say we have more safety cars than even just that, because this race could run a while, let's say, without rain and, you know, safety cars, everything else. If it goes all the way to 60 minutes in, it goes to 92%, meaning they might require full wet tires. So, yeah, this could definitely be a race of right tire, right time.
Something to point out is if based off the timing, it sounds like the rain would come right around that lap 15 to lap 20 area. So that's about halfway through the race.
I'm starting to wonder around that lap 20 area, though. You know, that's going to vary on the amount of safety cars we have, too.
Not only that, but the strategy. What tires are these guys
Yeah.
going to start on?
Because I checked before the race. I know I saw mediums, you know, some people will start pitting after 11 laps in. Maybe you can extend to 15. Tires are easy to overheat here, and I saw the hards. I saw if it's a completely dry race, it's hard mediums, and the hards, you know, you'll go about at least a minimum. I don't know if that what the maximum is, but at least a minimum of 15, 16, maybe even 18 laps here. So that may be the key of what the drivers do. Also, something to mention compared to last game is there is a DRS zone on the back straight heading into Sector 3. We're on board with Riles right now, who's on his first lap in the McLaren, replacing Sam Steed this week, by the way. So let's watch Riles and what he can do here heading into Sector 3 on that hairpin. We've seen a couple of McLarens in this league before have trouble at those type of hairpins. Riles at the end of Sector 2, that'll be the benchmark time with a 6.7. Heads to Sector 3. And, you know, I'm not even sure myself on what tires you may want to go to, because you mentioned safety cars. Is track position going to be key if you're going to go mediums, and is mediums going to last that long? I mean, you know, it's going to be a stretch between mediums and hards. I'm sure no one will go to the softs, but that's what it might be. Some may choose to start on hards, depending on what the case is. Some may start on mediums. It's going to be the right tire, right time. But Riles comes into turn 23, turn 22 as well right now. Final couple of corners. Riles will set the benchmark time in the McLaren for a 41.1. That'll be the time to beat. Behind that, there is a Mercedes. I believe that's Will Cromack. I believe he either invalidated or no, that was Calm. On an outlap, Aaron goes to the top in a 40.3. Another change as well regarding driver lineups include Aaron Ocon to Ferrari, TJR gone full time at Red Bull last week that was, and then this week Will Cromack full time at Mercedes, moving QBR20 Joe over to Red Bull.
Yeah, and Will Cromack just went on pole by 8/10 over to TGR, so we got a yellow flag.
Joseph's completing a lap, Kostag as well. There's a Haas, I believe, on an outlap or completing a lap. Joseph goes to the top, that is 45 thousandths faster. Pluto starts a lap, then it's Kostag. So watch Kostag will go through. Pluto goes fastest, 3/10 ahead. Winner in Singapore Season 1, back on top again. Points leader back on top. Here's Kostag starting a lap now. Thrasher, take it away.
Yeah, so Kostag, very tricky turns 2 and 3 here. Make sure you get on the gas nice. Alright, there we go. Down into turn, I think that's turn 5. Now down the long straight to the end of Sector 1. 27.5 sets purple. Beautifully done there, left. Now go into the tricky part of the track. Nicely there, done. Some traffic up in his way, letting him go. I believe that was the Red Bull TR. More traffic. Kostag doing this nicely. Oh, gets into the wall over there. But coming to got close to someone there. Couldn't see who that was. Now down. Oh, loses the traction a little bit. I don't know how that going down along, but 105.6. Definitely lost him some time there. Kostag now do the quick right left. Tricky Sector 3 here at Singapore. And then under the bridge or tunnel, whatever. Alright, right, left, now coming into the final 2 corners, Kostag. Had a decent lap, made a couple mistakes. Into the final corner, 39.2.
Should get him safe. There you go. I think everyone from Com above and above should be safe easily. It's gonna be tough to tell. Ricecracker sets in a time. I believe Jab set in a time. It's also Red Bull of Joe gonna start a lap. Let's watch Joe. Joe on board with him. Gonna go into turn 1. Doing the Red Bull. And you know what? He's made Q3 every single time he's been in the Ferrari. Last season, he made a start in the Alfa Romeo once. He made a start in the Mercedes a couple of times to start the season. Has not made Q3. Couldn't tell if he backed off of that or was just slow out of the exit of the corner. Struggling so far. Struggling a lot right there. Out of the corner before the DRS zone on this back straight. Going under the bridge. Blue Goggy goes second right there. Second fastest for him. Lando also is going to start a lap. 28.2 to end the sector for Joe. Now, this is a very tricky section. You don't want to go too much over the curbs. Now, oh, got to keep it out of the wall. Now on this back straight, 56th, lower than 50% of the battery. Oh, taps the wall, and I think he's going to go right into the wall. He's out! Oh, no, Joe is going to continue that streak of not making Q3, and I believe he's going to be out-qualified by a teammate once again. That is not good, because that's going to be 1 and 6 for him. 0 and 6 in the races, but we'll see if that changes today. Lots to still give in the race. Chungus goes second fastest.
Retires. I think that was in pitch or not.
Davis is having trouble toward the end of... Why won't it let me change?
Yeah, he just spun.
So did Raindrop as well out of there. Oh, right in front of another car. I think that was the Alfa Romeo of Lando Norris. We'll watch him. Norris recently this weekend had a birthday. So, happy late birthday to him a little bit. Hopefully, maybe that's some luck for him this weekend to turn his season around. I know he's had the first 2 races that went well, but ever since then, it's really not been so well at all. Oh, and he spins again. Luckily, he was able to do a 360 and keep it going, I think, but he will have to go for another one considering he is 20th.
Let's see.
Shot's the next one to start a lap, I believe, in the Alpine. Alistair with the race ban, he's covering. Foley also returns this week, by the way, too. He's 12th right now on the board. John also 13th, a couple people we've not mentioned. Here's Foley, here's Shot, starting a lap out of the following corners. 8 minutes left to go in this session. If drivers want to have a chance to maybe make Q3, not Q3, Q2 first before Q3, you're going to have to get through into Q2 and have a chance at Q3, of course. Shot now coming through the first couple of corners. Now going to go to turn 5, I believe it is. And heading in this back straight. DRS applied. Lower than 70% already in the battery. 6th, 7th gear. Going to go up to 8th gear, it should be. Yes, it will be. And it's Sector 1, 27.5. So it is looking good for him in the Alpine so far. The Alpine will be covered by a lot of straight line speed, but I think Sector 2 will... I'd even say actually Sector 3 would be the worst part for the Alpine, but... Anyway, up the gears again, 4th, 5th, 6th. Chungus is thinking he's safe. So did Com, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago. I don't know why it won't let me change camera angles. I'm trying to. Oh, won't let me change it. Lovely. Well, Shot coming through the bridge. 57, 8, 58, 59, and coming through the hairpin. DRS applied now, lower than 40% of the battery. Gonna have to try to be committed through the rest of this lap to get a good Sector 3. 5-7 it is, so it's decent. It may be enough to keep him safe, or get him safe. He's yet to set a lap. Polo God's also on a lap, by the way. Man, I hate the camera angle. Now, coming through the curb where we saw Lando spin, keeping it off the walls, it looks like, thus far. Now, under the bridge, with DHL signs, coming through here. Into the chicane. Then he's going to have to tackle turn 22 and turn 23. Very tough corners they are, especially in the wet, which we'll see at some point in this race. Shot coming through the following couple of corners now. 38.9 is the time to beat. Shot will be a 39.4. That should make him safe. He is actually tied right now with Ricecracker, and look at the gap from 7th to 9th. It is 1,000 separating those 3 drivers.
Yeah, very interesting. Foley and John out on laps. Davis goes to 11th with a 40.1. Pluto retires. He thinks he's safe. I think he's safe as well. Let's see. Who else is on a lap?
Polo is going to set a lap. Polo's going to set one right now. Look at this. What's this going to be for Polo? Polo got a podium here in Season 1. He's going to be 11th right now. The next to start a lap will be John. You know, I mean, we mentioned the rain and we mentioned everything else about, you know, I'll even say being right tire, right time, keeping out of the walls. How crucial is that going to be for especially the people who are able to attack Pluto here today, and even Pluto himself too, who won this race in Season 1, because that's legitimately how Polo God and Atlantis got podiums back in Season 1.
Yeah, it's a tight track, obviously. So you gotta take your corners perfectly. You know, one small mistake in the corner and bam, you could possibly be in the barrier. So it's definitely a tough track. But I think these drivers are experienced enough to know, hopefully, to not make so many mistakes into a barrier.
John also invalidated that one too. He's going to back off, and he's going to have to go for another one in the Aston Martin. So will Lando, so will Rouse, who's on an out lap in order to make it into Q2.
Yeah.
Also on the cusp is Davis, who set a lap that improved, but he's invalid on the second one. Go ahead.
Yeah, also very quickly, you mentioned Lando having a birthday. HG Raindrop also had a birthday yesterday.
Correct.
So we got two, birthdays in a week. So hopefully, those two can surprise us in the race. Lando's 20th, currently Raindrop 18th. So not the quality start that they want, but
yeah, and even Lando, he's never even started inside the top 5. I sort of wonder here, with it being Singapore, I don't even know if you really want to start in the top 5, but track position will be key once you get to the rain period, at least for sure. Riles is also going to start a lap here soon. The top 5 have all retired, thinking they're safe. I think they really are. They're that far ahead. They're safe. They easily will be. Riles is about to start a lap here. Riles, 75% record and over of out qualifying teammates, out racing teammates. Let's see if he can keep that up today. He's got Davis alongside him today. So Riles into turn 1 now, flipping the inside curb. Someone just improved right there. I believe that was the Mercedes of Will Cromack. No, I'm sorry. That was Florian Foley. Florian Foley improves to 11th ahead of Polo God, just behind Jab. So Polo God and the rest of the field with 3.5 minutes to go will have to go again. Riles up to gear 6th, 7th. Gonna have to be committed to the rest of this lap in order to improve to get himself into Q2. He's a 10th up on his time right now. That would not do him any sort of grace whatsoever. Goes a bit wide right there. The McLaren we've seen so far, it's been a tough car to qualify with. It's even been a tough car for the drivers who've been in the races with, including Sam, Davis, and we'll even include Toneless. Toneless last week didn't get the best of results. We saw him get a podium in an Alfa Romeo, but the McLaren, it was not so great for Toneless last week in Bahrain. Outside of the points for him. We don't usually see that from him. Riles now coming under the bridge into the hairpin. Let's see what he could do. Coming now down to Sector 3. How much of an improvement is this? Let's see. It is 0.4 of an improvement, so he'd be ahead of John, but it wouldn't be into Q2. The cutoff time is a 40.3. So Aaron, who's currently in the pits, is going to have to get it back out there again in order to improve, in order to get through as well. I think the cutoff time might be anywhere from a 40.3 to a 40.0 with the way it's looking right now. But depends on what these guys can do. John also on a lap as well. That's important for him. Riles now coming through the chicane. Now to turn 22, turn 23. Riles, best start is 2nd. Is he even going to have a chance to beat that this week coming through? He is 16th. He's going to have to go again, just behind Aaron Ocon right there. John also spun out on that lap as well. Schott is thinking he's safe in 9th. Joseph in 6th. Rice in 8th, all retiring. Raindrop is going to come through the final couple of corners to start a lap as well. So is Lando with a birthday. Jab goes fastest. Jab back on top, and he's going to be safe for sure now. We know he's safe 2/10 out of the field, 38.7. Where does that come from Jab?
That was a bit surprising.
That is. Him and Chungus really strong on the street circuits. Here's Raindrop in the Haas. Can he also improve in his time or get through? 2.3 down in his time. Lando and him both on outlaps. I think Raindrop is also getting a tow from the car in front. That is a Williams possibly of Jab. Yes, getting out of the way. Perfectly executed there. 300ths up. So not enough to get him through. Not the birthday weekend that Raindrop and Lando would have wanted here to come in URS, but it is at least an improvement in Sector 1 thus far. Lando also coming through right behind him. Also on laps is John again. Riles as well gonna have to try to improve. Aaron Ocon on an out lap. Polo God going back out there as well. Now through the hairpin, what can Raindrop do? This car will say, the advantage she'll have is there's the yellow flag up in front. The advantage this car will have is the straight line speed for sure in the Haas. Raindrop is improving by 5/10. This would put him ahead of John. Could possibly put him ahead of Riles, but has to master Sector 3. He's definitely got this car a little bit more figured out now. Comes through, invalidates. So he'll have to go again if he can get back to the line in time. Behind that, Lando Norris is also on a lap as well. Didn't spin that time through there. Here he comes. His teammate is 4th right now. 3/10 ahead of the... 3/10 off the top of the board. Lando coming through the 20 and 21 chicane. Now 22 and 23 he'll have to tackle. Lando Norris. Here he comes. Sweet 17 weekend. Is it going to be Sweet 17 this time around the final corner? He is improving, but only to 19th. The Ferrari of Aaron behind also starts a lap. He's on the elimination zone. John coming through a 10th up. That is not going to be enough to get him through. In the Aston Martin. Here comes Aaron now through the first couple of corners. Checkered flag complete for Jab. Will Cromack. They're good. They're going to be through. Aaron Ocon comes through. John improves, but only to 16th. TJR goes through. Foley goes through. They're completing the checkered flags. Their laps are done. Riles will come through this time. So will Davis. Aaron Ocon improving. This should be good if Riles is improving. The McLaren was Davis who spun out at the final corner. He might be safe. We'll have to see with laps to still improve. He's got a car in front of him. Aaron does. Can Aaron get through? He's got the Alfa Romeo. I believe that's Lando Norris also trying to improve. There was an improvement there from Polo God, who's going to go 7th. Looks like the slower cars, like the Williams, the Haas, the Alfa Romeo, the AlphaTauri, and even the Aston Martin have been strong in these street circuits. But Aaron, the faster car in the Ferrari, is improving. 3/10 up on his time. This is for the elimination zone. Davis, checkered flag for him as well. He is through as of right now, unless anybody improves. I think that's Riles looking to improve. No, he's coming to the pit lane, avoiding this lap. Aaron's got Lando in front. I think Lando's also trying to complete a lap here to get through. They're both pushing. They're both trying to come to the line now. They both got to get what they got and give it their all. Aaron sliding. Raindrop comes to cross the line now. Can Raindrop come through? No, he can't. He's going to be out. Lando Norris goes ahead of Raindrop. Aaron is safe. That is it to Q1. And that is it.
Yeah, unlucky for Raindrop there. He ran out of gas. He ran out of fuel. Coming to the final 2 corners. Oh, unlucky there.
There you go.
But out in Q1 is John, Riles, Lando, Raindrop, and Joe.
At the top of the board, it is Jaboli MSU. Head of the field. He is leading everybody else and looking to be stronger than ever for a first podium. You know, I must say for Jab's sake as well, and I must say in general, that if there's any place he could do it, today could be the day. You look back a year ago this weekend, he won the URS season opener at Austria, took his first win in ARL, a league I previously owned. And in in 4 of the last 5 races, Jab has been running on a podium spot. But in all of those races, Jab has not been able to finish on the podium at all. So, if anyone's more hungrier, I think today could be the day for Jab. That he'd be hungriest.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we know how close Jab has been. He's been getting so unlucky during the starts of these past couple weeks. Obviously, Silverstone hit contact with Pluto. Yeah, just unlucky for Jab. But he looks fast today, leading in Q1, so hopefully he can keep it up.
Most definitely. Not only that, too, but both AlphaTauris making it through to Q2. 1 McLaren, 2 Williams, and Aston Martin making it through. 2 Ferraris, which Ferrari have had a poor start to the season. Only 1 point to start off. Not so great for them. Both Alpines making it through fully in shot. 1 Red Bull, 1 Alfa Romeo, 2 Mercedes, and 1 Haas making it through. That is all 10 teams still making it through and still having a chance to get through to Q3. Not only that, but also something to include is the fact that the gap to 1st to 10th has been close throughout the couple past weeks. 2 weeks, it's been 5 tenths, 6 tenths in the last 2 rounds. So we'll have to see what the cutoff will be this week. The first car out there, or at least the first car that can get to the line, looks like it will be its shot.
Yeah, you were saying how we've had close gaps as of recent, and we can only hope that it continues today. Obviously, single plays a little bit of a track, but I still think we could get maybe like a 7th, 8th, 10th gap between the top 10.
Yeah, I think it's definitely showing this weekend, especially with Jab out in front and even Pluto and Goggy and all the other back marker cars up there, that this track is really coming alive for more so the drivers, the wheel drivers, than the pad and the drivers relying off of what car they have. So here's Shot, gonna start a lap now. Shot as well, reserving again this week. No podiums, no wins, but he has scored points in 2 of the last 3 races that he is reserved in. Shot now coming through turn 1. Actually, in fact, the last time he scored points, he was in an Alpine, so maybe that's some luck for him today. Now, coming through 4, 5, and down to 5th gear. Gonna apply DRS. Coming under the bridge now to the Sector 1 split. What's this gonna be? It is a 27.5. That's similar to what he did in Q1. Looking good so far. Got to keep it within the track limits. That's something a lot of drivers have been struggling with so far in qualifying. It is important to do so because we saw, I know penalties come into play. It did come into play for a couple of spots in Season 1. It wasn't the most competitive race in Season 1 considering there was the most retirements in a single race in URS back in Season 1. We hope not to see that today, of course. Full grid, so maybe a less chance for that. Not be good if we saw that. Now coming to the hairpin for Shot. Coming out of the hairpin, DRS going to be applied. 3rd, 4th, 5th, shifting up the gears now. Here he comes to the Sector 2 split. It is a 5.9 for Shot. Now, going to be very committed through here. Trying to still keep it within the track limits. Another thing that we'll have to mention in this race that we'll watch out on is the battery. Shot's already down to the 20% range. Shot, oh, he taps the barrier just a bit. Now, comes through tunnel, 20, 21. Let's see how comfortable he is on this lap. At the end of this lap, set a time to be the benchmark time to beat so far. Shot comes across the line. It'll be a 39.8 the rest of the people have to beat. Behind that is an AlphaTauri. That is Kostag. He may have made a mistake in his lap. He's pitting. Also behind that is an Alpine or a Williams. That's Jab who's going to go fastest. 39.4. That's going to be the time to beat. Chungus, his teammate, right behind. 400s off. Also behind that is a Mercedes. That is Calm. Calm, not too far off. 9/10 off. Next up is a Haas. Pluto will go fastest, a 10th ahead of the field. Next up is the Ferrari. Aaron Ocon starting a lap as well. And this is going to be the run to Q3 for now for these drivers. Joseph setting in a lap. Well, Cormac setting in a lap. Paulo got also set in a time too. Field being separated by 1.1 seconds so far. There's a McLaren still on a lap. I don't know if there was yellow flags for him, but he's slowing down. That's Davis. Aaron Ocon. So far, only one Q3 appearance in Season 3. 27.6 to set himself up for maybe another one. Barely made it through last time in Q1. Gonna have to try to do a lot more to make it through. He's got a lot of cars in front of him, a lot of traffic. Blue Goggy goes fastest.
Something that was really interesting there is Goggy did that lap while trying to avoid Davis.
Bryce Cracker second.
Very nice, very interesting.
Here comes Aaron, DRS applied. Can he match what his teammate did right there? Is it all coming alive? Let's see, 6-2 for Aaron. It shows purple. To find out if it's purple. Pluto also mentioned a couple things too. That's going to be howdy, keep that valid. On this game, usually would be invalid for that, but looks like Aaron keeps it going. One thing Pluto mentioned in Q1 was Pluto had the fastest time for the longest time, and when he did, he was 9th fastest in Sector 1, 8th fastest in Sector 2, and 3rd fastest in Sector 3. And that was the difference between these laps. A lot of difference in the splits in these sectors. 10 drivers set of laps so far. Aaron Ilkin will be the 11th. What can he do? He spins out of the final corner. Oh boy. And he's right to the pit lane. Gonna enter the pit lane now.
And so we got Foley on a lap.
He's invalidated. Goggy race cracker on in laps, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Kostak will be next. So it gives us an opportunity to maybe get a driver in here regarding an interview. We'll get John, I think, because he was closest to being through. We'll talk to him making a first start. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's get an interview with John. Why not? See what he can feel in that Aston Martin. Because his teammate is 9th, and his teammate is toward the cutoff. That's a 40.1. I think it was a 40.2, 40.3 we saw in Q1, so yeah, I'll have to see. Get John in here. I'll ask him if he wants an interview. Kostak about to start a lap, by the way.
Yep. So across the line, Kostak will go into turn 1. Turns 2, then 3. Gets on the curve there in turn 2. Nicely done there. The quick turn, so a slight turn 4 into turn 5. Not down the back straight. Under the bridge he goes. 27.3. Not bad there from Kostak. That's actually really good.
Check what the top 2 have.
Yeah. Let's see. Oops.
Yeah, everyone's in 27.20, 27.4, 27.5, so that is a good first sector. That's actually the fastest first sector we've seen so far.
That's a purple.
Can he keep it going?
Yeah. Now into the sharp left, down to the second long back straight. Coming to the end of sector 2. Kostak will put in a 105.2, so a beautiful lap here from Kostak so far. Kostak now just needs to keep it valid. Left corner. Alright, now he goes underneath the bridge. Beautifully done there. Now into the 2021 chicane. Now coming up to turns 22 and 23. A final couple corners here from Kostak. A great left from Kostak. Where does he go? To the top of the board with a 38.
How about that? Started off the season with 2 podiums, the most he's got in a single season. He's got 3 podiums total in the league, and in fact, the first one came on a street circuit. Most recent one came at Bahrain, which was last round, but the first one to start the season also came on a street circuit, so it's looking good for him today so far. Davis, shot all on laps. Davis, let's watch him through the final parts of Sector 3. What can he do? Flipping the curb, struggling a little bit right there, but let's see what he can do on the bridge. Whoa, he's close to the wall. Onto the curbs, struggling to start this. With limited practice, that's also what happens, but coming through the chicane of 20 and 21, coming over to the line with 22 and 23. If we can't get an interview with John, we'll try Lando Norris. Since Lando had a birthday weekend as well. Davis comes to the line, it'll be 8th fastest. So far that's safe, but he may have to go again.
And TGR wrecked out. He is his Q2 is done.
Oh. There you go. I'll have to I'll have a go at Lando. We have a quiet session as of right now, I think, between the people on the elimination zone. Let's ask Lando for an invite. Let's do that. It's in a party with Joe and Polo, so I'm sure they'll make him aware of that. Interview here might be what he needs. There we go. Lando!
Hello.
Well, it wasn't the best of qualifyings from you. Blue Goggy, your teammate, thinks he's safe. Blue Goggy looks pretty fast around here in qualifying. I know you were out in Q1. In fact, in Q1, you were 18th. Does that give you any hope, I guess, with Goggy's speed thus far for the race, even though you were out in Q1?
Probably not, because you know how he is in races. He's a missile on in the races. I mean, the only hope I have is that I'm able to drive my own car and see where I can go. But I mean,
Yeah, that's for sure.
but I mean,
But, sorry.
doing all right, I guess. Obviously he hasn't really pissed anybody off yet with any of his antics, so that's always a good start. But I have caught somebody. The man in 14th place right now has corner cut to get into the pits.
14.
Yep, Florida.
14.
Yep, he corner cut.
Oh, you mean coming out of the pits?
No, he corner cut to get to the pits on his lap. He invalidated the first sector,
okay, I see.
and he died. He cut the
Anyway,
area where the Singapore sling was.
I see. Anyway, continuing with what you had mentioned, I also want to talk about the past couple of races for you. You started off the season pretty well with a couple good finishes. It's not been a good stretch of races for you. Is this where you expect to recover it? I mean, you have one podium in this league, and that was back at a wet race, and it does look like it's going to rain here today. Are you hoping for that today? Chungus goes fastest.
I think I kind of am, because with my setup, we are a tractor on the straights, we're good in the corners, and speaking of what the Alpine just did, he just did it again, but yeah, no, I mean, the last couple races have been up and down. Britain was rear wing damage. It just killed me. And I was in a good spot too, had really good pace. Bahrain, my wheel disconnected during qualifying and I crashed out because of that. However though, I made up a lot of it in the race, so it wasn't too much of a loss. Here, however, podium, probably a long shot. But if I had to say, if I can do what I did at Bahrain and just maybe be a bit ambitious on overtaking, which it's not that hard here. You have to have a brain. I think realistically the goal for me is just to finish at least 8th, 9th, 10th. That would be a good start. And the other goal is just to have Goggy also, for once, bring home decent points and not piss off half the grid on it.
Alright, well, yeah, he did that last week, so we'll see if he can do it again with you this week. Both you scored points last week. We're going to cut you short here because qualifying is coming to an end with a minute left. Good luck in the race, and we hope to see you on the podium.
Cheers.
We'll let you go. Have a good one. Foley as well on the cutoff is starting a lap. Aaron Ocon also on a lap as well. Thrasher, if we can get someone in Q3 who got knocked out, we'll see if we can have a go at them. But Foley now is coming through Sector 2. He's going to have one shot at this. So is Aaron Ocon. Also on an out lap is Davis. He should be able to get back to the flag in time. Kostag is going out again. He's going to go for another run. So is Jab. So is Will, Pluto, and the rest of the people who think they're not safe. For the first time this season, we can finally say Pluto is not currently safe just yet, because that cutoff time is 1.3 off the top, and that is a 39.6, way much better than what we saw in the last qualifying session. But Foley is 6-1 to the middle sector. Is this going to be safe? We'll have to find out. Here comes Foley as well. Davis starts a lap behind Davis as well. I believe it's Jab and the Williams completing a lap. Foley coming through the bridge section. He's also got Polo God on a lap behind him, who is currently in the elimination zone. So both them trying to rush to get back to the flag. Foley, I believe, topped the wall. Polo God right behind, keeping it off the wall for right now. Here comes Foley. Here comes Polo God. Chungus thinks he's safe. Foley comes to cross the line. Foley is 12th, but Polo God will go through. Polo God goes 4th. Behind that is Pluto going to be safe. Pluto comes to cross the line. Pluto goes 3rd fastest. He'll be into Q2. Behind that is Aaron Ocon. Can Aaron Ocon get through? Aaron Ocon has yet to set a lap, but he will not be through. He's 14th. Davis also has to set a lap. That's good enough. He's at 10th up. Joseph coming through now. Can Joseph come through? Joseph and Davis, the only two left. Currently in the cutoff. Will would be knocked out. He's entered the pit lane. Can Joseph get through? Comes across the final corner. Joseph is through. He's up to 2nd ahead of his teammate for right now.
It's up to now Davis. It's Davis versus Jab. Who makes it to Q3?
Yeah, that's 6/10. That cutoff time we were talking about in 10th, we have not seen it been that close so far to start the session. That's a 38.8. Davis is going to need a 38.8 to get through. He's invalidated. No! And that is it to his qualifying session. So it is going to be Jab through, but Will Cromack in the Mercedes knocked out. Wow. that is it to your qualifying session. Both Williams have started off these sessions leading it, getting through.
Yeah. And Jab almost didn't make it there.
That was scary. Chungus had a Joseph and Kostag, then it's Pluto's close to elimination, then it's Blue Gagi rounding out that top 5. Polo God, Calm, Rice Cracker, Shot, Jab, all will have a chance to make Q3. The only the only 2 double teams that are in there include Williams and AlphaTauri. Out in qualifying includes TJR, who crashed out, Aaron Ocon, Florian Foley, Davis, and Will Cromack. Will Cromack making the move to Mercedes is not going well. Even Joe's move to Red Bull didn't go so well to start off this session as of right now. Both Red Bulls out. One Ferrari is in too. Not only that, an Alpine out. Both McLarens out. And a Mercedes out as well in qualifying. It's Q3. Jab makes it through. Jab has made it through every time. He has been able to run every single lap in Q3. Shot, both appearances thus far, has got, three of the 4 appearances so far that he's made it to Q3. Both appearances in the times in the Alpine, he's made it through. Not only that, but Kostag keeps going to Q3. Joseph has made it through in every round. So is Pluto. Polo God, who missed Q3 last week, is now through, having a chance for pole. Rice Cracker as well, through again. That's another Q3 appearance for Ferrari. They've made a struggling start to the season. Rice Cracker had a good, decent qualifying last week. Another appearance for a Ferrari. Blue Gagi also made it last week, but was disqualified from qualifying midway through. He is through again on a 3rd appearance. Calm is through. Chungus and Pluto. Chungus having another chance at pole. Williams scoring a lot of front rows to start off the season. They have led the first 2 sessions thus far.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Q2, I should say. You know, we had a Ferrari out. Both Red Bulls are out now. So, like you touched on earlier, it looks like the slowest cars, or like the slower cars are the ones that have been fastest so far. You know, we have both Williams, both AlphaTauri, we got Haas in there, and Aston Martin in there, and Alfa Romeo in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Joseph spun.
I think we'll probably, let me see who we can get once these laps are complete. I'm trying to look through the people who are out. I'm thinking with the switch to Mercedes, I'm thinking we'll get Will. We'll get Will in, because I want to see, especially from a top team like Mercedes, and with Com going through, what had prevented Will from going through into Q3. And not only that, but he's had a good start to the season in the 2 races that he's done. 2 races he missed due to holiday, so to see what he does. He qualified 11th, but now through to Q3, I have to mention, last week was the closest pole gap we've seen thus far this season. We're gonna have to see what we can do again for qualifying. Now, Shot about to start his lap. Chat, let's get your pole predictions here. Let's get who you think will be the top 3. 8 people watching? Let's get some more in. Why not? Here's Shot starting a lap. He'll be the first driver to set the benchmark and to set what will be right now for pole, if he can keep this valid, of course. Coming through 1, 2, and 3. Shot has been decently fast so far. The other reserve appearance he made in the Alpine was back at Saudi Arabia. Qualified through to Q3. Had a decent qualifying. I think one of his best qualifying so far. Now comes through to the end of Sector 1. It is a 27.2, so the times are improving for sure. We've seen that from the cutoff. We'll see what pole could be. Pole will be in the 38s, 39s. We'll have to find out what we see. Now Shot coming through. What can he do? Can he complete a good lap in the Alpine that will set the benchmark and set a good benchmark? Also on laps right now is Com, Pluto, Polo God, Jabham, Joseph. Shot now coming to the hairpin. 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd, down to even 2nd. We've got a yellow flag behind. Com is retired. Thomas crashed. Joseph's also got a 5-place grid penalty too. Shot comes through for a 5-0. There's been a crash at the back. Let's check that out. Joseph has collided with Calm, I believe that is. Joseph trying to get back through. Here's Shot, by the way. Oh, coming through. He clips the curb, clips the wall. Now, in the 18 and 19, the bridge. Yellow flags as well at the back there, though. Still Joseph trying to recover. Well, the Ferrari's on an outlap behind that. He's lucky he's got someone on an outlap, but here comes Shot coming to the line. Got to set the benchmark. What will the time be to beat? Shot to the final corner. It will be a 38.8. Now, behind that, it is Pluto who's coming through. Can Pluto go faster? You bet he can. 38.1. 6/10 ahead. Not more yellow flags. That's for an AlphaTauri and a Ferrari. The AlphaTauri is invalidated. Polo God now is coming to the final 2 corners. What can he set? Polo God, can he go ahead a Shot? It's a 38.6 and he can. Behind that, it's a Williams of Jab, I believe, then an AlphaTauri. Jab setting a lap. Can it be Pole right now? It's a 38.6, barely out of Polo. Next up, the AlphaTauri of Kostag. He's starting a lap. The Ferrari of Ricecracker is as well, and so is Blue Goggy.
Yeah, so, interesting. I'd love to see what happens between Colin and Joseph. Because Joseph got a 5-second place, a 5-place, I almost said 5 second, a 5-place grid penalty for it, so.
Kostag coming through sector 1, split 27.3. That's a good lap. Good sector so far. Goes a bit wide, but continues going. Where's the Williams of Chungus gonna go? Chungus goes pole right now. Chungus is ahead of Pluto. 52 thousandths ahead right now. 38.1. Are we gonna see anyone go 37s? If anyone could do it, I think Kostag's the first one who could challenge that. Kostag on a lap. Ricecracker behind that on a lap. Goggy is 2. Kostag goes wide. Now to the hairpin. Very committed to the inside, arcing in the corner very well. URS going to be applied to end this. Kostag, a 5-1, not purple, but this probably, I think, would set him the top of the second row. Now, coming to the bridge section. A lot of chicanes to negotiate your way through. Kostag, here he comes, 18-19, 2021. Now, to the final 2 corners. Can Kostag set himself up for pole? Chungus ahead of Pluto. Is it going to be Kostag ahead of Chungus? Kostag goes slots in behind Pluto, 3/10 behind. Behind that, Ricecracker and Goggy are also setting laps. Ricecracker and the Ferrari has done a decent showing so far. Where can he go? He's going to go right behind Kostag. Goggy, 5-1 through sector 2. Coming to the line now, very committed and very entitled to do so. Ooh, he's gonna slide in second row. He's gonna interview with Will Cromack. Talk to him about his qualifying exit. We'll have you have a go at that. Man, it is so close so far for pole. Chungus ahead of Pluto. Chungus has yet to set a pole in this league, and could today be the day?
It could. It very well could be the day. Yeah, look at 7/10.
Well, Will Cromack, welcome along. Hello. So, let's talk about your qualifying here. Thrasher, have a go at him. Make sure you include your audio.
Oh yeah, I'm actually include your audio well. So obviously not the qualifying you went out in Q2. Obviously you were in Red Bull. From the switch to Red Bull to Mercedes, did that have any effect on your exit in Q2?
Yeah, I mean, I've stopped that game last year and I've only driven a Red Bull, so I don't really know. It's a bit weird driving in a Mercedes, I had to learn that a bit, but no, it's just dreadful. Just invalidated my first lap. Then I had worn tyres for the second lap. It just weren't good, so I just went out, I guess.
So now, how you'll be starting, I believe it's P11.
11.
Yeah, so we start on P11 just outside the top 10. What's your strategy going into the race? Obviously, we know there's rain coming at some point. Um, you know, how do you deal with that starting P11 knowing there's rain on the way?
Well, the fact I'm starting at P11, it's a case of trying to make my way through sort of track for the first 30, 40 minutes, and then once we're in it, you kind of have to make a judgment of how many laps are left and whether you're going to go on to inters or not. So you just have to take it as it comes, because you don't know exactly when it's going to hit.
Yeah, true. Ryan, do you have anything to ask? Well,
We gotta get to Jab in a moment, but I just want a quick yes or no, Will. Do you think today could be a race you could challenge for a podium?
No.
All right. Well, if you think you can't, I at least hope you good luck that you can, though. So
Thanks.
have a good one in the race.
Good
Hope
luck,
to
Will.
see you after.
Cheers.
Good luck. Have a good one. I must say, you know, with Jab and Chungus on outlaps, they've gone out first. They've gone out with no traffic. Look at the split they have. This is crucial for their laps. Even if they invalidate, I don't know if they can get in a second one, but if they go fast enough, I think Jab can get in a second one. Either way, I still must say, Jab 5/10 off pole. We saw what he could pull off in Q2, Q1 it was. I didn't expect that. Chungus pulled off a lap in Q2. I didn't expect that. Chungus has pulled off a lap that's ahead of Pluto. I expected it at this point, but I must say, this field is still close. It's 6/10 between the whole field, and Joseph has yet to set a lap, and he's got a lot of damage to his car. So between the 8 drivers who have a realistic chance at pole, this is going to be close, because Shot's still 6/10 off. He might have time to improve. Polo God surely has time to improve, and I definitely assume Jab and Rice Cracker do too.
yeah, no doubt. Obviously, we don't know what Joseph is because he didn't get a lap. But, you know, I think this is, we were talking about gaps close. I think we're going to have a great gap as Jab comes to start the first lap.
Here we go. Jab, DRS applied, going to be down to turn 1. He's got to find a lot of improvement if he wants to be able to get on pole and let alone start ahead of his teammate or even alongside his teammate. These are going to be the last laps. Everybody gets in this. Chungus crosses the line because even if they invalidate, that's it. That's where they've won out. Jeb, very committed so far. Up the gears, up DRS he goes. 6th gear, 7th gear, already below 65% of the battery. That's how much you waste here. Is he improving? He is improving by a 10th in his purple. It's 27.3 through the first sector. He's got to keep it within the limits as well. Polo God starts a lap, and there's a train of cars in the last sector that he's going to have to avoid if they get caught up. And they're also starting laps too. Next up is an AlphaTauri. Next up is a Haas. Jab staying committed. Jab trying to do everything he can to find time. Got to keep it off the walls. Very committed within the track limits thus far. Not clipping the curb on the inside, setting himself up for a beautiful exit. Here he comes, now to the hairpin. And coming to the Sector 2 split and DRS. Now, DRS going to be applied. Very committed there. What's Sector 2 going to be like? It is a 4-9, 3/10 of an improvement. So right now, I believe that set him on the second row, but there's still time to find in Sector 3, surely. Here he comes. Now, a chicane, another chicane, and then another chicane. To the final 2 corners he'll come. Checkered flag is out. Jab will be the first one to set the time and set an improvement. He's definitely found time in Sector 3. I could tell you this is much more executed, much more beautiful. Close to the wall. Here comes Jab to the line. Can Jab go pole? Jab is just on the front row. 400s off. Next up is Chungus. Chungus' improvement. Can he go to the 37s? Chungus crosses the line. It's a 37.9. 2/10 ahead. Chungus is on pole right now for the first time. After 4 front rows, he could be seeing a pole. Polo God is next. 3/10 of an improvement. This could be up to the second row, maybe third row. Polo God improving. What's he gonna do? Polo God goes to the front row! The track where he saw his first podium, he's currently seeing the front row. Joseph improving, I think, at least on what he was doing the first time in the first sector. Next up is Kostak. Kostak spins. Here's Pluto. Can Pluto go pole? Pluto can go pole! It is close! 13,000. He steals one from Chungus. Joseph goes 6th. Next up is Shot. Shot's improving just a little bit. Next of an improvement, a Shot goes ahead of Rice Cracker. Rice Cracker next. Can Rice Cracker improve? Rice Cracker goes ahead.
Here comes
Next
Gagi.
up is Gagi. Gagi, couldn't it be the next chance for a pole? Can he get it? Blue Gagi on pole! He has done it! Gagi, at the last moment, is gonna be on pole for the first time! Gagi started a best of second previously and will be on pole! Gagi steals it! Unbelievable! And the Alfa Romeo, they will see pole for the first time! The top three within a tenth of a second. Gagi was improving just enough for the second row for the first time. He will lead us to the start. Unbelievable. Where did that come from?
That was amazing. Blue Gagi. I'm shocked. He was up 3.5 tenths at the end of Sector 2. That
Yeah.
right there would have put
That wasn't going to be
him-
enough.
That would have put him at a 37-0.
Yeah, and that would be what, like
That would've been
38?
third.
Oh, yeah, it would be third, yeah. A first-time pole sitter. 5 different pole sitters to start off this season. I think that's also 5 different teams. That's off to Gagi.
That's amazing.
I was talking to Lando as well about it. I must say, he's not had a good start to the season. Remember, Thrasher, he got disqualified in Australia at the start when he made Q3. A disqualification from the game as well in Bahrain. Although he scored points last week, a best finish of 8th, he also got 6 penalty points for incidents he was involved in. I must say, if there's any way to avoid those incidents, he's done a good job of it by starting on pole position for the first time in his URS career. Wow, did he bang off a lap.
That's amazing. I'm still shocked. I've got goosebumps.
That's same here. I'm shocked myself. I didn't think it was coming. I thought, okay, Pluto's turning on pole for the first time this season. You know, okay, whatever. But you know what? Gagi's just shocked the world. That may be one of the best, I think, pole sitter upsets I think we've seen in the last couple of seasons, couple of moments here in URS. I mean, think about the last couple of Grand Prix with the pole sitters. I'll go through them. This is how much of a shock it is. It was Will Cromack in Bahrain last week. He already had a pole. Tom already had a pole previously. Alistair, he's shown great qualifying pace in the first 2 races. He was on pole in Saudi Arabia. Jab, the fastest driver in this league, on pole. Surely that was going to happen at some point. But Blue Gagi in the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo yet to take a pole. They finally have done so in Singapore. Thrasher, how about you go through 2 favorites here on this grid?
Yeah, so, I mean, how can you not? Pole sitter Blue Gagi, an amazing lap. Pulled it out of nowhere, no one was expecting it. And now Gagi is on pole. Pretty much, he started on the medium, so we were talking earlier about what tires whether one start on. He starts on the mediums. Can he, hold it off to the rain? Could he get some a great finish here and hopefully back up that pole? Next, I'm gonna go. There's someone towards the back. I'll go Joseph. Hold on.
All right, I'll go with I'll finish with Joseph for why you said him. He's got the grip penalty though, so that set him further back, meaning Will Cormac would be 10th. But Joseph, the start of the season, like Thrasher mentioned, Q3 appearances, all races. Joseph has a podium already, and that came on the street circuit of Saudi Arabia. So I mean, if anyone has a chance for any sort of recovery from a grip penalty or anything, really, it's going to be Joseph. I'm going to go 2 favorites myself. I'm going to go with Polo God and the Aston Martin. Polo God, again, I said it, journalist notes earlier this week, if anyone's going to upset, it's going to be Polo. Polo God got a podium here in Season 1. He's the first runner on the hards, and I must say, recovery time right now, in that Aston Martin. I have to mention the fact of the matter, that podium in Season 1 came off of a messed up strategy, and he still recovered to challenge Pluto and Atlantis for the win. Pluto will surely be a favorite too, but I'm not going to go with Tim. And there's a couple reasons for it. But Polo got that Aston Martin. Going to be a tough one to watch out for. Also, a couple of things here at the back of the grid too I want to mention. I'm going to go with QBR20 Joe. QBR20 Joseph in the Red Bull. I moved to Red Bull where he crashed out. He's in the best spot possible. Why? Because he gets to watch all the chaos in front of him ensue. He gets to avoid it. He gets to do everything he can just to stay out of it and simply survive. It depends on what kind of start he gets. We'll have to see. Here come the lights. Here we go. 5 red lights upon us here in Singapore. Here we go. They don't rev it up just yet. Waiting to rev it up. Here we go. Revving it up. And we are having a safety car start, I think. It is a safety car start to the Singapore Grand Prix. It is lights out, and away the safety car goes.
That's pretty odd.
And this is not the first time we've seen this, because this has happened in SRS, and now Calm is out of the race. What the hell? Okay.
He just turned right.
That could have been an AI in control. That's what I'm sort of wondering now. What the hell have we seen?
They're asking for a restart.
Yeah, I think there kind of has to be. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna announce that we're restarting. That's kind of messed up. I have the grid order. I just want to make sure I have it correct. Yes, I do. That's weird. That's very weird. Now we're gonna have to see what goes on when it comes to rain and stuff.
You got the grid? Did you get the grid?
Yes.
Okay, if you don't mind, could you send it to me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let me send this to you now again. I have the full grid, but, in fact, Milo was talking about appealing that 5-play grid penalty. I think he could do that now.
You said he wouldn't be appealing it.
He wouldn't be, okay. So that means what I sent you there, and you should let me see if I got the link copied. There you go. Make sure you set up the new lobby with the settings. Let me send this to you. I have never seen a safety. I mean, I've seen it happen, but I've never experienced it while commentating a safety car start. If you're just missing out and you're just joining the action, it was a safety car start, and that means the race will be restarted for a second. Oh my god. Let me send this to you. Grid order. That should be it. There you go.
Alright, cool.
Wow, I can't believe that.
So what am I gonna do with the rain?
That's what I'm gonna send to you. As
Okay.
well. Make sure you have it in custom weather, but the thing on, yeah. So, okay. Make sure you invite me.
Yeah, I'm getting the lobby. Hold on.
Okay. I'm also gonna make people aware what the weather is and what caused the safety car start. I don't know. I don't know.
That was
that's
just weird.
how crazy it was. That was weird. That was. I've never seen anything like that.
Okay, customize weather.
Alright, so main chat is just showing the weather, by the way. If you look at we're gonna figure out how to decide that, but at least the first stint is dry, we know. I'm gonna make sure you have it right the time. Davis is making sure you don't mess it up.
Of course he is. Fraud.
Well, I hope the people just tuning in stay along, you know, because we have a long way to go. This is gonna be the longest Grand Prix considering we have rain. Longest Grand Prix, I think, stream-wise, excluding the sprint. I need an invite still, I think.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know you're
setting
trying to
it
sort the
now.
settings. I'll join up your name if you can. Okay. Because I need to invite the other drivers. I did not get the invite. No, no, I did. No, I did. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Mother.
Okay, so don't worry about weather this moment.
Okay.
I'm going to get the invites out to the drivers. Let's get this back going, shall we? Oh dear. Well, again, if you're tuning in, stay along. Because you do not want to miss the action for this Grand Prix, which has been halted. I have to say, I've never experienced it happen, but I have seen it happen once. And the one time I did, it was in a league with a lot of the same people, SRS, Tier 2. So, yeah, I don't know. I must say, that is very confusing.
So am I good? I give the pen the what do you call it? The grid pen.
Grid pen, yes. Drop them down to
11th.
11th, I think? Yes. Yes. So, you see the starting grid from what I sent, right? Or no?
Yeah, from the docks. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, okay, good. I'm making sure everyone gets an invite and gets in. You will be able to set the grid order at that point, once everyone is in. You will be able to do it quickly. You also got to do the weather too. You have a big, busy job here, Thrasher.
Well, whichever comes first is what I'll do. If the grid's
Yeah.
in, or the weather, whatever.
That's a good thing I write down the results because I don't have to end the stream or anything to like see the order or anything like that. So that's obviously good. Jab is getting an invite. I'm almost through with the invites. It takes longer on the 22 game than it does in 21, so apologies for any sort of hold up that people are having. Go and let me invite a Joe.
Once I get the full grid in, I will start. Once we get everyone in, I'll start on the grid.
Yes. And I will let you know on weather too.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that aware. And make sure you press spectate, obviously. It's a Alright, so Milo has now appealed his grid penalty, making him 6th, by the way, just to make you aware of that.
Okay.
Just
Okay, so he does go 6. Okay. Alright, good enough.
correct.
No.
I'm making sure to get that out, by the way, just so people know.
Yep. Make sure you get.
Because I'm gonna making sure. Yep, I've got invites to everybody except for him. I don't have him as a favorite. I meant to add him because
I know. I just sent him one.
he's a favorite. Okay, good, good, good. I will give him one extra just in case. Make sure everyone's in here.
I think we're missing Foley. It's the only one we're missing. Alright, there's Foley. Alright, we got the entire grid in.
Yes,
look on the
you
grid.
got the get the grid order, and I'm gonna make sure you tell them to unready. They cannot ready yet because that cannot be rushed. They've got to make sure that the grid is in and the weather's in correctly. I'm getting the grid pin stuff out, by the way.
Alright, I'm doing the grid now, so. Alright, so it was Gagi on pole. Pluto. SP2. Young SP3.
So
Jab. And Joseph.
red flag, red flag. There's a power outage in Sector 3. Stop in the pit lane.
Christ, Kostag. Shotgun. Will Davis. Foley. Aaron. TJR. John. Riles. Lando Raindrop.
Correct. You can only do 3 slots, so that's what we're figuring out. We're figuring out as well what the weather will look like, and we will update the people in Twitch and in the races it is. Thank God the settings are getting updated, so people are unreadied.
Just making sure I got this quick right.
Make sure you have a formation lamp, by the way. I'll make sure the settings are right in just a moment. I can't check grid order, I can't check weather, so you have to make sure that's right. And on approximate, of course, too.
Gagi Pluto Chungus Polo Jab. Gagi Pluto Chungus Polo Jab. Joseph Rice Coasting Shotgun. Joseph Rice Coasting. Will Davis Foley. Aaron TJR. Will Foley. Foley Aaron. TJR. Lando Ranger Joe. Okay, grid is good.
Alright, and we'll check the rest of the settings. Weather, by the way, it should be light cloud, heavy rain. That's what I think it will be with that.
Light cloud.
Because it was on like overcast with the night, and then it was like on overcast, then into like the cloud with the moon. So do light cloud, heavy rain. I'm also make that aware as well in updates. I'm checking the settings itself right now just to make sure everything is good. So we do not want another restart for anything else. We're already 8 minutes into what the restart time would have been. So yeah, all right. Custom grid, yes. Long, yep. Weather and time of day. We're good. Some flags. Immersive, reduced, immersive, yep. Well, okay. It was okay. Clear. It said clear, light cloud, light rain. Oh, hold on. Let me see. It was on mine. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Okay, so let me just make sure it's correct before. It was overcast times 2, partly. So I'm just trying to respond back. All right. May need to adjust the weather thing with that in a moment, because it's only 3 slots. Yes, you have. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'll get you an invite back to this lobby just in case we go with this lobby still. I'm trying to make sure what's going on here with this. Be patient, everyone. Still in Twitch chat. All right, we create a new lobby.
What?
I need you to create a new lobby, and we're going quickly with it. We have to create a new lobby. Yes, because Goggy's car being on poll, and him being hosted will not work out. All right, gotta be quick with this. Do you have the settings saved, by the way, for the? Okay. Okay, I will invite the admins first. They can get invites. Alright, took a second to come through. Okay, recently played with, that's correct, okay. So, let's invite admins. Admins get invites first. Gosh. Trying to go quickly with this. Already behind on time, but it is okay. It is okay. Just a little update with that. Time yeah, time to whatever it was during. Was it midnight during the thing? Just if it was midnight during the whole thing, you can keep it midnight.
Yeah.
Was. And they're in. Now you gotta set the grid. Alright. That's it to do, and I'm checking the... Okay. Light cloud, heavy rain. Make sure that's right after that. That's the only thing you'll need to check because you're doing the grid right now. Weather and time of day. Yep. Okay. Go over the grid with me quickly, just so we can get that sorted to make sure it's right. What do you have as the grid? The grid. All right. Yes, but go over the order you have to make sure it's right. All right. I think everything else is good. Let's get going. Make sure the weather is correct quickly. Double check. Light cloud, heavy rain. Okay, awesome. Let's go. In chat, we have a bit of Lewis Hamilton's career stats during the red flag. Anyway, let's get going. For this Grand Prix, we're finally underway. The driver's mount may now ready up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we are getting going. Well, we can now go over other favorites. We went over the first time 2 favorites. You went over Joseph and Blue Goggy. I went over Polo God and Joe. Now it's time maybe to choose 2 more or go over the standings. Or fine, we'll choose 1 more both, and then we'll go over the standings quickly. How about that? That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. I'll let you go over the standings quickly, the drivers and constructors, while I quickly bear back. All right. And back. Now we can go over favorite. Actually, you know what? We might have time to go over 2 favorites, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, we should. Good. Let's check the tires quickly, of course. So, let's go over 2 favorites. 2 other favorites than what we chose the first time. So, Joseph, Goggy, Joe, and Polo got our off limits. I'm going to go with Jeb MSU in 5th. Jab has a good chance of winning. He won here in SRS. 364 days ago, he won in SRS at Austria for his first win. Why not give him a first win here today? I don't know. I think there's a good chance of that. I'm also going to go with a completely different driver than him. Davis 2K7, he's won round 5 the past 2 seasons on track. One of them after post-race penalties and everything else. Not only that, but I think today is a good chance for him to recover his season. He starts midfield, so it's going to be a bit tougher, but we'll see what he could do in negotiating his way through the field. Both Jab and Davis both all-star on the mediums. Or any of mine, really, too. Okay. There you go. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, we've seen some surprising points finishes this season thus far. Crazy Race in Australia led CJ to a points finish. Gagi, we weren't sure if he was going to score points just yet at the beginning of the season, but he had in Bahrain. And speaking of that, he spun off pole position trying to get back to the line. Okay, well, here we go, lining up to the grid now on their good slots. Chungus cannot hear you. Uninclude, then include again. And just make sure once again. Talk.
Yeah, hello?
Let's see. I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
We're good. We're good now. So that's good. All right, here we go. For the start of this Singapore Grand Prix, it was a little bit delayed. Now we're getting going. Here we come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They're gonna rev it up pretty soon. Just waiting on it. Here we go. They rev it up. It's lights out and away we go. I think Gagi got a decent start. He's going to pull Pluto off the line. Here comes Jab splitting the middle. How about that for second and third? Jab going to go alongside his teammate already. I think there's a couple of positions being traded midfield, but so far, so good and clean. We have Gagi already out to a second lead, and Pluto getting chance for Chungus and Jab. Chungus going to hold up Jab. And Rice Cracker already up to 5th. Polo Gods fell down the order, down to 10th already, but so far, a decent start at the front and very clean. Chungus, here he's challenging, and Kostag is challenging Joseph already. He's gonna go down the outside and gonna go through. Joseph also getting challenged from Com. Now TJR and Foley gonna go side by side. TJR gets at Foley back down the inside. Oh, he taps Will Cromack, and there's a big collision right there. Big damage to some people who had to check up. Luckily, keep it in the straight direction they have. 1.3 lead for Gagi.
Good start. We don't have any retirement, so that's a good. That's good. Hopefully I didn't.
Joe is struggling with damage. That's held up John a bit. 1.4 for that lead. Gagi pulling away already before the rain is gonna come. It's gonna come at some point, but he's got a big enough lead to know that be able to hold it off so far. And everyone all really behind that within a second of one another. Don't know if Lando got damaged. Raindrop up a few positions. Let's see who has gained positions and not. Jab up 1, Rice Cracker up 2, Kostag 2, Com 2, Polo God down 6, TJR 2, Raindrop 3, and John down 4, Foley down 2. Foley had that collision lap 1. I think that will be investigated, but 2.1 for this lead already. It's crazy.
What a start by Gagi.
Where's this pace come from?
I don't know.
It's the first lap.
But Chungus right there on Pluto.
Well, Foley pits, Raindrop pits. I think
Oh!
they're the ones in. Oh, second place! You're right about that. Couldn't see what happened directly, but that's gonna allow Jab to follow. The URS applied for Chungus. Here we go, under the bridge. He's gonna pull alongside. Can he go through on the outside? He's gonna stick it. Can he keep it? Side by side between him and Pluto. Bit of contact. Now back down the inside. Gonna be side by side. He's pinching Pluto. He's almost around. Now Pluto back ahead. Here's Rice Cracker challenging. Well, Chromac gets out of TJR as well in the background. But this is just allowing a 3.5 second lead for Goggy now. Oh my goodness.
And that's all is holding up everyone behind him.
Oh! That was close. The hairpin. A lot of checking up between the drivers. DRS applied. Jab trying to challenge Chungus 3.7. Now that gap. Here's Calm on the back of Joseph. Again, it was mentioned pre-race. Be careful about the braking between drivers. I know we saw that happen with Foley in the lap 1 incident, but with the top 11, they're going to have to be careful because they're all really buckled up.
So, Pluto's making a lot of mistakes. This isn't usually like
on them hearts. Yeah, and he's got a hungry amount of cars behind him too. Chungus has to come through if he wants to go to challenge for this lead because he's on the same tire as Goggy. 42.6 for Goggy, leading lap 2. And now Calm is also within striking distance of Joseph. Can't make a movement at turn 1. Polo on shot as well. You mentioned, what happened there at turn 4 with Chungus and Pluto there? Turn 3, turn 4.
So, look, Chungus just kind of got in a little bit too deep and got into the rear of Pluto, and Contact Model decided to have a laugh.
Here we go! Here we go! Here comes Chungus pulling alongside. He's gonna go around the outside. Can he keep it? They're gonna be side by side. Can Chungus finally get ahead? Yes, he can for now. Pluto still sticking it on the outside. Is Jab gonna challenge? Chungus cuts Pluto off, which will allow Chungus to go ahead. Also behind that, Calm is a lost time to the car in front of Kostag. That's gonna change the running order, allowing Davis to close back up. Joe, Riles, and John all within a train. A little 3-car train at the back of the field. Allowing themselves to catch back up. DRS enabled on this third lap. Going to be DRS here. Good chance for it. Pluto recover on Chungus. Battery usage already below 10% for Chungus.
And this is just all needed a 5-second gap for Chungus. Or for Goggy
yeah.
to Chungus.
Joseph. There you go. That's the first track limit penalty this race. We were wondering, when are we going to see that? Track limit's a big key to this race in Singapore. It's so hard to keep your car on the track, and it was hard for Joseph to do so, picking up the first penalty. Now that the gap was 5 seconds, it's 4.9, 4.8 between Chungus and Blue Goggy. You could tell that the hards are, I guess, a bit tough for Pluto because even though he improved in that last lap he did, it was hard for them to start. Here's Calm on Kostag. Calm gonna go side by side with Kostag in turn 1. Kostag gonna go around the outside. Calm is ahead. Kostag off the road just a little bit, allowing his teammate to go to the inside. They're gonna ghost through each other, but it is gonna be Kostag staying ahead. As mentioned about Pluto, it's worth being mentioned that now that Chungus is ahead, Chungus is able to catch Goggy a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, where Pluto was losing the time to Goggy, and I think that's where the difference comes in pace between them. Hopefully Chungus doesn't use up his stuff, though, because he may still be able to catch Goggy if he doesn't, and he uses his conservatively. Last time Goggy's been up to tie in a race, by the way, Canada, last season, another street circuit, was up to 2nd place, about to take the lead before he crashed. Here comes Joseph and Kostag, a position swap right there. Oh, he goes wide, Joseph does while doing so.
A mess back here from Joseph on back.
Whoa, late braking, Davis and Will get in the back of Davis. Will gonna apply DRS as well. Davis applying DRS. But tough from them to avoid braking. I know it's tough when you're following a train of cars. You think you gotta brake a little bit earlier than the racing line tells you to, but no, you gotta brake a lot earlier actually. John, and Joe going side by side for a moment, and John snaps the rear in the Aston Martin, but I think Chungus pulled DRS from Pluto. He has.
And
he's pulled DRS. Turn
Goggies.
22.
So this just
Two
shows.
drivers take a win.
This just shows what the difference between mediums and hards. Kostag's
Kostag
around.
pitting already.
Oh,
He
oh
have
my.
damage. Is that why he is pitting, as you mentioned? TJR, a 5-second penalty for speeding. Kostag is repairing that front wing. That, to me, does not come as a surprise as to why he pitted, because I wouldn't expect him to pit as early as he has.
And
John is now retired. I don't know if that's on the front straight of the pit lane. I think that is the pit lane. Might have had to go.
Yeah, I think it is the pit lane.
Assuming it is. Yeah, that is. That's their first retirement of this race thus far. So far, not too bad. Yeah, it looks like it's an immediate leave. I don't think he was maybe having as much trouble with the Aston Martin as I maybe thought, but he definitely looked like he had to go if it was that immediate. I would only assume, but we'll have to find out from the driver herself.
Yeah, so Chungus continuing to close that gap on Gagi.
Even then, Jab is closing the gap on Pluto for a podium spot.
Pluto, it looks like he's locking the brakes up a lot.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even just say that, but I think, you know, are the hards having a tough time for Pluto because even Rice Cracker's falling out of DRS of Jab? I mean, what is Pluto struggling with? I mean, he started up high enough, or sorry, he started high enough up, high enough up to where he's not struggling badly enough to where he's got everyone there to pounce, and you know, we're lucky that, or he's lucky that Singapore is a tough track to overtake. So it's harder for these guys to get past him now. So I mean, he's got Jab and DRS, and both of them on similar battery. So it's gonna be a matter of time, I guess. 4.2 that gap with the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Jab is just struggling to get close to him. Maybe the hards are gonna start kicking in soon. Maybe just needed to get warmed up.
Maybe. It took a while though, clearly at this point, because he was improving, but he's struggling compared to Chungus, and he's even fallen back 1.6. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the mediums will definitely have a pace advantage. We know that, but Pluto also has a pace advantage on Chungus most times anyway. So, and on Jab. So the fact that he's, I guess, took a little bit longer for the tires to, well, he's took a little bit longer to let the tires warm up. I think that's also had a part to do with it too. We saw HC Raindrop take a penalty on track limits. We also saw a move made for 14th place between Joe and Riles. Race pace should be coming in for the McLarens because Davis has already gained 2 spots, as it wasn't from the start of this race. Jab also closing in on Pluto. Pluto closing back in on Chungus. So I mean, he's definitely found something now, Pluto, that he's been missing before, because he's not losing as much time as he was, and he's keeping content with Chungus too. I mean, we know the difference between the mediums and the hards. Yes, you're gonna have a pace difference, but I don't really think there's that much of a pace difference between those two drivers as it is on different compounds that would allow Pluto to struggle that much and be that far in the back foot. And I mean, now Rice Crackers gained back to Jab too. So yeah, maybe it was the temperature with the hards, maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but I guess the struggles aren't as bad now. Jab closing up the 310s. Lap 7 out of 31. It may only be a matter of time until the rain comes. Blue Goggy in this league. Yet to score better, finish better than 8th. Aaron Ocon with a time penalty. Goggy yet to score a finish better than 8th in this league. Yet to score a podium. Hasn't led a race since Britain season 1. Kostag fastest lap. Chungus also hasn't won a race in URS. Last time he led a race was back at Saudi Arabia. Jab yet to win URS. Rice Cracker has not seen the top 5 in URS. Got a podium taken off him at France. Joseph hasn't won yet. Shot hasn't won yet. He's not even scored a podium. Polo hasn't won yet. So a lot of these drivers in the top 10 Thrasher we're seeing have yet to really win a race here in this league.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, some of these guys, they've been in contention, just unable to close it out. But yeah, I mean, we saw Jeddah with Chungus. We saw the whole controversy between him and Pluto in the final corner. That was probably his best shot. But some of these guys definitely have wins coming soon, for sure. As Jab's continuing to, he was closing on Pluto, kind of made a mistake there.
Yeah.
I think the hards are.
And here's Rice Cracker too.
Yes, I think the hards are kicking in now.
And not only that, but I think also the gap that Chungus has pulled to Pluto, it's not going to be enough for a recovery, I guess, on track until the pit stops. DRS for Jeb now. Oh, there was a car squirrely in the back. That was calm. And that's going to allow Joseph to close up there. That was out of turn 5-6 area.
Pluto continues to lock up.
Oh my god. He's really struggling race pace-wise. It's enough to keep him on the podium now, but he's got 2 cars behind him that are really hungry for it. And still cars behind that following one another. Got Calm, Joseph, and Shot. We've got Polo and Davis shortly behind. Well, Chromax shortly behind that.
Looks like Jam closes in. He loses the time in sector 3. Looks like Pluto's just better than him in sector 3.
Yeah, and that gap now, 2.7. The gap between Chungus and Chigagi is coming down, though. So that's interesting, definitely, to this race. Rice Cracker's falling back now from DRS. Jab is closed back up. Jab is keeping content. Davis also is near Polo God. Let's see. Jab 410s. DRS that time. Lap 9 out of 31. Almost a third of the way through the race. That rain definitely going to be coming soon. Just a matter of how soon. And it may work out for the medium runners more than not if it comes sooner. Here's Jab with DRS. He's closing this time and trying to gain on Pluto to overtake him, but cannot get through just yet. He's still matching the times he's been able to do to start this race, Jab, because that Sector 1 was still really good and close to his fastest. Rice Cracker's also fallen back. Chungus has closed the gap again still to Gagi. By the way, QBR20 Joe is pitted for medium tires. Maybe a bit of front wing damage he repaired. But I have to mention, you know, this fully picks up a penalty. Lando close to Aaron and 4-car train now for 6. But the gap between Blue Gagi and Chungus now, 3.6, right? When Chungus first got through on Pluto, that gap was 4.9. So the fact he's been able to gain 1.4, 1.3, that's been at least helpful to his standard and helpful to at least gaining on him if any sort of mistakes happen. And of Gagi, I mean, they can't really see each other too much from where they're at, but the thing for Chungus, though, and Gagi with that gap, is the matter of pit stops, right? Let's say the inners come lap 16 or something. It's just an example, right? If Gagi pits a lap later and Chungus pits a lap earlier, that lap earlier, the gap he's been able to close it back down to may matter in the end. May not matter right now, but it's a long-term game, though, for the front two.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just the front two, but it could be for anyone, you know.
Right.
Any battles throughout the field. But Jab is just... This has probably been the closest he's been with the DRS, so...
Here we go. Jab closing in. Can he get alongside this time? Pluto covers it off, but Jab's going to go around the outside. Can he keep it? Jab's going to try to switch his back, though. Pluto struggling a little bit on that defending. Or is he trying to defend the long way? Oh, Jab! And Pluto made contact! That's the second time this season both of them come together. And now, that has cost him time to the 2 cars of Chungus and Gagi in front, and that's probably also cost them time to Rice Cracker with a big train behind.
Yeah, Jab's now struggling now after that contact. We got a yellow flag.
Yellow flag, that's Ferrari maybe? Aaron Ocon? Who was that?
Might be
Lando maybe. Lando, that was, because he was behind Aaron, right behind him. Now he's 5 seconds behind, so that makes sense now. And yeah, you mentioned that struggling. Jab trying to hold around the outside on Pluto still. And Pluto closed the door. I don't really know who I can put blame there at, because I definitely think Pluto was ahead, but did Pluto have to leave the room for Jeb or not? That may be argued later on after the race. Luckily, though, I don't see any damage for any of them. Oh, we have a spinner.
Oh.
Polo God is around, and that is out of the turn 21 chicane. He was in that front train there. He's going to not pit. Tire's going to be hooked, though.
Com gets
Com goes
passed.
by Rice. Yeah, there you go. And Rice is struggling. Rice, oh, there's Joseph who slides. Shot's going to go through now. I think that was a matter of yes, Rice parking on the apex. Joseph trying to go through, and Joseph slid the rears there. Riles is also going by Lando, because Lando is going to come in for a pit stop, possibly for damage. Here's Shot on Rice Cracker. Shot goes through. Rice Cracker trying to go back down the inside, but cannot get through, and cuts the corner in the process. Oh, Polo God, I don't think he has any damage, but he's going to be behind this train out of the points as we stand, because that is a matter of, I guess, where your tires are at. He's on the hard, so he might be okay, but he was in contention for, what, that little train, 8th, 9th, 10th? But he's not falling too far back, at least. He doesn't have too many people close to him. Kostag also on Riles. Riles and Kostag gonna go side by side under the bridge. Kostag gonna go ahead of Riles. Riles gonna try to switch this back. Can't get much there, but there you go. TJR also pitted recently. He's on the back of Florian now. Joseph still on this train, and Jab also near Pluto. And that gap between the lead is nearing DRS. 2.5 now between Chungus and Gagi. The two out in front. The two who've really controlled this race since, I guess it's really changed up. Yellow flags.
I think that was
Joe
Lane.
with no front wing.
That was a Joe.
No, that was Joe. No front wing. And the struggle for him here is the game going to try to pull a safety car? I don't see any yellow flags anymore, but he has got no front wing. Going to have to travel back to the pit lane, and he's hit the wall again. Locked up. It has been a struggle to Joe's start of the season. As we mentioned with the front of the field, 2.4. And that gap has closed down in the last lap or two between those two.
And
We may see
Joseph on Rice here. Rice is continuing to struggle.
And he's got himself out of DRS as well. Joseph's also improving, though, on those hards, where Rice does not. And that gap between the podium as well, with second and third, sorry, is 5.1 now. It's really fallen back.
Yeah, and Davis is closing in on this battle here between Rice and Joseph.
Let's stop where it happened now between anyone. Gagi would come out, I believe, I want to say around that 10th, 11th area, so we'll have to watch out for that once that does become a factor. 2.3 now between him and Chungus. Again, that gap for the lead is just going to continue to close down. I think Chungus is genuinely faster, and Gagi, I don't know if he's used up his stuff as well or not. I don't know if Chungus will bite him back later. Davis is now spun, and he's got to avoid the wall to avoid any re-wing damage, but he gets back going. Now he's got front wing damage on the front of the car, trying to get back going. And that is him against the wall, struggling for this race. Trying not to pull out in front of anyone else, in case it doesn't ghost him. Joseph's also now still close to the back of Race Cracker. I don't know if there was a bit of lag for Race Cracker or not, but it's a bit odd. Davis gonna have to try to get back to the pit lane. And he's now got no front wing.
I'm gonna need another bike.
Oh, got you. Pitting is calm, by the way. Chungus is also lagged out from second place, by the way. What is happening? Davis front wing damage, Rice penalty. We're seeing everything unfold. Kostag got that's not already. But pitting is calm. And I don't know if that's for a front wing change or to the hards, because the mediums can go too far. We're gonna have to get quickly. We're gonna have to get Chungus back in. I've got you an invite, by the way. Davis again is off. Getting him back in quickly. Rice Cracker and Joseph also go wheel to wheel. Joseph got ahead there. For position. You should be able to join back now. Chungus has joined back the session as well. He was in second place, and now he's getting caught by Pluto, but Davis comes to the pit with no front wing. Davis is now retired from this race, so that is his second retirement to this race and almost at halfway. And now, with Chungus joining back the session, Pluto might be within DRS. And not only Pluto might be within DRS, But the fact that, by the way, that's Joe pulling off, letting the leaders go. But the fact that, I must mention the fact that Chungus is lagged out, joined back the session. He's going to retake control of his car in just a moment. He's now got that gap, which was about to be under 2 seconds, up to 5.4. So Goggy, yeah, he's comfortably in the lead. And Pluto, now back to DRS. Doesn't have it in the moment, but will pretty soon. Here's Shot in jab pitting on the mediums. Here we go. Pit stop's underway.
Alright, I'm back. So.
There we go. Chungus should be in control now, and that gap is 5.1 now. Did Goggy make a mistake, or Chungus just gained that much back? Joe is now retired in the pit lane.
So Jab comes in and puts on the hards.
It's interesting, especially with rain coming soon, or should be coming soon. Where's he gonna come out? Shot. Shot comes out ahead of Riles, but behind Calm, so gets jumped by him.
Yeah, that's interesting to see what Jab's decision was right there, but
TJR is close to Florian Foley as well for position, but still second place again. Pluto back into DRS, that helps his race so much, but Pluto on the hards, he's able to take it much longer than Jab will, especially with the rain. So that'll be advantage to Pluto at least. Jab had to pit for hards when he was in the medium, so is now this gonna allow Goggy and Chungus to pit? Did they waste their tires that badly? To find out. Can they make it? That'll be a matter of when the rain does come, but, you know. We'll see. Here we go. DRS for Pluto or not? Just off of it this time. Missed out on it. Trying to close back into it. And also, Will Cromack is closed into Rice Cracker. Here's Cromack back at this with Rice Cracker. Can't get close enough this time into turn one. He'll have to concede that spot for right now. Pluto on the back straight, though, is able to close enough to get himself DRS, close up to Chungus, and he'll have the battery advantage right here. We gotta yell flag. That is Lando Norris, who is spun around there at the start of Sector 3, but 5/10 now with Pluto and Chungus. Pluto's really caught up at the start of Sector 1. Oh, Cromack goes wide, following Rice Cracker, and that will allow Rice Cracker to pull away while Polo God can catch back up.
interesting to point out here, with Pluto on the hards, depending on when we see the rain, this definitely helps him compared to the guys around him.
It does, because we saw Jab pit, and I don't know if he changed front wing damage or what that was, same with Calm and Shot, but that's a matter of can they go the rest of the way in the mediums before the rain. Goggy's staying out of course.
We did see Jab run into the back of Pluto, so that he may have had damage from that.
And now Pluto is closed into Chungus. And so has Will closed back up to Rice Cracker ahead with Polo challenging. I mean, Will is close to Rice after that mistake, so that's good to see. But here we go, second place now. Pluto's gonna pull alongside. He's got the battery advantage. He's got DRS, and Pluto goes back ahead of Chungus for second place en route to catch Goggy back up. 4.2 that gap. Oh, almost got in the back of him. Well, I must say it's been a decent race so far with the cleanliness, because there's only been 3 retirements. All drivers, I believe, giving up. Nobody crashing out on track necessarily. So, that's at least a good sight in that sense.
Yeah,
And no safety cars.
very true. Well, hopefully they just jinx it. Um, because obviously commentator's curse is has always been at its finest.
It has,
Oh,
and now we
and,
see Aaron Ocon pick up another penalty.
but yeah, it has been a nice clean race. You know, we've had a couple contact, but nothing too major. So good to see.
Oh, here's Will. Polo God. Positions traded there for a moment. I completely missed that. But Polo God, after spinning, is back up to 6th, and he'll be up P5 on net penalties as we stand because the 2 cars ahead of him have penalties.
Something else, Jad. But the relay was 10 seconds back of Polo, and now he's 6.2 or 6.1 now behind Will. So he's continuing to gain very fast. Polo and Rice.
Here we go. For 5th place, Polo God's going to have to try to challenge back and gain on penalties. He's also on the hards. When is that rain going to come? I said lap 16 as an example, and I genuinely thought it could start, but it's not started yet. Polo punts Rice right there. He has to back out of that one. Little tap. And regarding the chat with their predictions, Calm goes out of Kostak. Here's Polo now challenging. Can he get back through? DRL supplied. ERS is very low for Polo. Is he going to go to the inside, the outside? Polo down the inside. Rice has damage. Now Polo is going to challenge through with the damage. We've got yellow flags. Where's that? That's up ahead. Is that Goggy or who is that? There's yellow flags for that section. Is that for a lap car? Might have been Lando. It was Lando. Lando's got no front wing now. But with the chat with their predictions, got someone who's predicted Goggy all day winning this race. But we also have Skippy who said you can't rule out Pluto, Chungus, or Jab. That is definitely correct. Although Chungus has dropped back from DRS, he's still pulled along by Pluto to catch Goggy. Oh, Chungus is at the wall. And yeah, I guess that is crucial that Pluto's now catching Goggy. Does Goggy have a puncture? It's starting to rain though. It is starting to rain. Goggy's pitting. And he may have had a puncture in the mediums with how much time he was losing to Pluto. Now Pluto takes over the lead. And he's not the only one pitting because Joseph is now retiring the entrance of the pit lane. And that's out of the race. And that has brought out the first safety car, I believe. Is that his VSC or a safety car?
I think it
is a virtual.
VSC.
So Goggy pits for inners. Chromac is spun on the front straight. Pitting for inners is Polo. Pitting for inners is Rice. And pitting for inners is Jab, I believe. Joseph, the first retired regarding crashing out of this race. That's at the entrance. That was tough. He must have locked up. When we talk about Pluto's lockups, Joseph has now gone out of the race from that. Kostad goes inners. Goggy's now 25 seconds back on the inners that he pitted onto. It's gonna matter, I guess, how long this VSC will be out, but I mentioned the safety car could come out, and people tend to forget. Look at the track now. It is all wet. Completely wet for inners. And we did see that patch, Thrasher, that it would be heavy rain at the end. Do we see the full wets be used? Is this perfect strategy call from Goggy? And is he even struggling right now? Green flag's back out. Wets for raindrop.
He is about a lap down, so.
Close to being lapped, or is he lapped? He is lapped, you're right. 14 cars left on the lap. Winners for Aaron Ocon. I would be expecting the leaders to be pitting this time, because look at the time they're losing to Goggy. Even though Goggy may have had a puncture that lap, or whatever it was for him to lose time, perfect strategy call for him to recognize that and come in on that same lap, or maybe lucky timing, because here come the leaders. The leaders are in. 17, oh, Chungus hits the wall, sliding to the pit lane. I was going to say 17 laps in the hards for Pluto, 17 laps in the mediums. Also good for them to recognize the wear on their tires. Goggy's going to be coming out this time. Where does he come out? Will Chromax on the on the hards. So that will be something Polo will take advantage of when it comes to the pit stops. Here's Chungus. No front wing change. Pluto, no front wing change. Both all going onto the inners. Goggy retakes the lead. And now Will Chromac is pitting. Don't think he had a puncture or not, but that changes the way this race has come. Here's Pluto coming out of the pit lane now. That gap was 4 seconds or even 3, I think, and it gone down to 2 right before pitting. Now it's up to 7 seconds with that gap between the inners. And Polo God, by the way, has taken over 4th place. Jab with 5th. This race has gone drastically different.
Yeah, you brought it up. Could we possibly see wets? I mean, it was heavy rain.
Yeah. I sort of shake my head, though, when it comes to raindrop strategy of wets, but I also applaud it because it's trying something different. And not only that, as Riles gets out of Chromac, but not only is it trying something different, though, it's preparing himself to be on the wets for when it is time. He doesn't have to make a pit stop. He is avoiding himself from being a lap down. And I mean, he may go a lap down again, but let's say they pit under the wets, there's a safety car again or something. He is back in this race, depending on how much is left with laps. If the safety car is enough to bunch everybody up by the end, I mean, it's all going to vary. So I shake my head, but I applaud it because it's something different to at least maybe keep him in this race in a way, or in contention. So as a matter of it is, we saw Polo spin out. By the way, was in that train for 7th, 8th place, down to 11th, recover with a couple of spins and a couple of positions gained. He was up to 4th, or, well, not 4th, sorry, 5th, 6th, 7th area, recovers by catching Will Chromac and passing him in the pit stop range. How about that? He takes 4th place back, and Gagi is out to now a 7.2 lead. This race has really changed itself, and the championship too has changed too, because Kostag now will be 50 points plus behind Pluto. And with the AlphaTauri of Joseph crashing out, that changes the constructors too, with AlphaTauri losing points to Haas.
Yeah, definitely. Something else that's really interesting. We saw, if you remember earlier in the race, we saw Bryce Cracker. He was doing good on the hards. You know, he was up to P5, then he started to struggle. Now he's on his inters, and he's kind of closing in on Jab a little bit. Well, he was before that mistake. But
I also... Go ahead.
I'm just saying, this is some great pace we're seeing out of us.
Not even Rice Cracker. I think his friend Blue Gagi up in the lead. I sort of remember Lando's comments before pre-race, you know, he hasn't pissed anybody off yet, referring to Gagi. He's been nowhere to piss anyone off. He's been leading this race. He's 7.1 out in front. He's cruising right now. He doesn't have anything to worry about as of right now, I say. And the rain does pick up, so we will see wets at some point, I'd assume. But with that said, you know, the only way to, I guess, avoid the penalty points for Gagi and, you know, not be near anybody and have a good result, lead the race. Lando was talking about, we'll see if Alfa Romeo could score double points. Lando's been the one struggling. Lando's not had a good birthday week again, nor is Raindrop. So, you know, I wonder, with everything that's going on, you know, an Alfa Romeo first win is not out of the question. However, Pluto has gained that back a little bit too, and Chungus is in closing distance now with that gap gained also. So, well, Chromac gets a 3-second, by the way, but I think in my opinion, look at how much the rain has picked up. I think it's really only a matter of time till the wet tires are going to be used. And, you know, we saw a crash to the pit lane. You got to avoid crashing or whatever it may be, because wet tires, changing tires, whatever, you know, anything like that, you don't want to lose grip and end up like Joseph did out of the race. It was a mistake from him. It was a bit unlucky, I must say. Maybe misjudgment. But even then, I'm watching Kostag on board, and he's even struggling on the inners. And I know you don't want to go to the wets too early, but once you see that strategy call from Mark, you're going to want to say, hey, I'm going to go in immediately, or you notice a big difference in the track with grip and everything else as it gets worse, you're going to want to go in for wets. And that's where we watch Raindrop as well on the wets prevail, but we watch to see if he has anything to show us that the wets are the preferred tire at that time, because he's not losing too much time as he was before, because he was 34 behind, and he stayed consistently from 43 to 44 this lap behind the car in front. So that is crucial to know, and that is crucial to note. And listening to the stream, if you're a driver, you would see that. So that's obviously very important for your race.
Very true, and on board with Goggy, you can see it's definitely continuing to get heavier. Something else is getting rid of last lane drop.
He gets to see the grip difference, I guess. He gets to know it firsthand. I mean, Goggy's trying to keep it out of the wall. Guy's trying to be safe. He's doing whatever he can. But yeah, I refer back to the penalty points thing. The past 2 seasons, I think about the fact that Goggy has gotten 14 penalty points in both seasons. He lost his full-time seat at the start of Season 2, I believe. And with that said, because the penalty points he was under a 2-race ban. In Season 1, he was under a race ban. And then to start the season, he had a little bit of controversy with Pluto, Chungus, and Jab, the 3 of the top 5 runners, with being lapped at Mexico in preseason. That got them heated. And now we're not even seeing Goggy be lapped at all. And he comes to Australia, has a top 10 start. Looks like he has some good pace to start the season. Gets disqualified by the game. Not only that, but he also goes to Bahrain. Doesn't have the best of races driving standard-wise. He gets 6 penalty points. And you start to sort of wonder, although he has good pace and he can at least keep it ahead of other people and keep it somewhat clean, or at least, I guess, somewhat out of the walls, not too badly. You gotta sort of wonder, as Will Cromack is going to the wet tires. By the way, this is interesting, but you gotta sort of wonder, with Goggy, those 6 penalty points in 8th place last week, was that the start of something new we're seeing? 5.9 to the lead. We saw a pole position. We saw him be out front. He needs to qualify out front and stay up front in order to keep himself out of any sort of, I guess, issues with other drivers, right? Because he wants to avoid the penalty points he achieved, accumulated last season. Now with the penalty points taking over, it's been Alistair's taken over. Alistair's the one we're seeing with the most penalty points. Goggy's avoided that. And I think winning this race today for Goggy, or at least being on the podium if it's not a win, is a big boost for him. He's led practically every lap but one. So, there you go.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be something if Gaki could hold off for this win. But she's starting to struggle. And Pluto is continuing to gain. So, do we see these leaders? Do we see them go to the wet anytime soon? Because we saw Will just try it. Is he
right?
How is he looking with time? It doesn't look like he's.
I'm looking at. God.
I just say it doesn't look like he's losing too much time.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lando right now, and he was gaining time originally on Raindrop, but he's lost a little bit of it, and it's almost like it is the crossover point, and it is raining a lot more harder. I want to look at Raindrop where he's at with lead lap cars. He is struggling on the wets, but sliding, while Lando is behind the Ferrari, and he's keeping it content. So it may be the crossover point. I mean, look at how heavy it is. It's so tough. It is so tough for these guys. So, yeah, 19.3, 19.4. Lando's losing time.
Will's gaining a lot on Aaron.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be the lap. And if you are, let's say, where Aaron's at, here's Aaron pitting now. This is perfect. This is perfect to watch out for. This may be the lap to pit for wets, and the front 3, got to get it right. You can see behind Goggy, 4.7. Pluto and Chungus have closed up enough to where they're right behind him. They're on the same camera angle as him, somewhat. You can see them right in the background. So, there you go. I mean, that's how much they've closed up, and Goggy's got to have a perfect in-lap here. Can't spin the car, got to get under the pit lane just right, execute perfectly. If he does that, he may keep lead just fine. And you know what? He's not going to get jumped or anything unless he messes up the pit stop that badly or has to repair anything, but 4.5 that gap. It looks like he really is struggling. And Lando gains that back, but also might lose it in the process. Is Goggy pitting now? Goggy's left the session! Oh, no! Nope, did not mean to invite to party. Oh, in game. There we go. 3.7. Between Pluto and Goggy, this is crucial for him to get back in the session. You can see Lando losing time to Raindrop. That's crucial for people to go to the wets, but no one in the top 3 have done so. Polo got pits. He has to try something different than the rest of the field, considering he was 8 seconds back. And now here's Jab. Racecracker is sliding. Calm. Does he even pit? The gap, 3.3 to the lead. Oh my goodness. He has to get back in the
Is he
session
back
almost
in?
now.
Safety car.
Is there a safety car? There is a safety car. Is there? Or a VSC?
I think it's a virtual.
It is VSC. And Gagi is joined back at the right time too. Wow. And it slowed him down, by the way. So he has joined back at the right time. But is Polo God going to get the same advantage that Gagi got last time on the leaders? This is getting interesting. I don't think Polo God would pass Chungus or Pluto, but I think he'd at least be in a sense where he's closer. You know? That's what I sort of wonder. And yeah, Gagi has got extremely lucky, I would say, with this virtual safety car. He has joined back, but he's not in control of his car just yet. 3.6. Lando pitting for the wets. More drivers ahead of that pitting for the wets, including Kostag, Shot, Riles, TJR.
Now
3.8 that
Gagi's
gap. I believe Gagi is back in. Yes, so that is crucial. Here's Chungus also now in the back of Pluto. This is important and crucial for this race. Is Polo God gaining on Rice now? And look at the rain. It is just downpour. It is treacherous. Chungus slides. Pluto slides. They're all sliding. And Polo will gain on Rice while this happens. It's, what do you want to call it? Not tornado. Why am I thinking of the word tornado?
Hurricane.
What's the... Well,
Cyclone.
I can't think of the word.
Oh my god.
It's torrential downpour. Put it that way. I can't think of the word. The 3 races back to back in ARL saw the downpour like this, where it was the heavy rain. Monsoon. Yeah, I could think of that. Gagi's into the pit lane, so this is crucial. Here's Pluto as well, along with Chungus. Here we go. The Haas car of Raindrop also is going to lap himself too. Chungus avoids the pit wall. Rice should be in this time. Polo's also gaining, and that gap was 34 seconds, but 28 to the car in front, so this outlap will be crucial for him. Gagi goes to the wets. He's out and away. Here's Pluto in, along with Chungus. Chungus exiting. Pluto exiting. Pluto ahead of Chungus. Now Rice Cracker's in. Polo God's in the front straight. Chungus and Pluto exiting now. This is for a podium for Polo. Can he get him on exit? They're going to be side by side possibly. Here they come with warming up their tires. Here's Polo alongside Chungus. Polo around the outside. They're going to be side by side. Pluto's there as well. Pitting is Rice. Pitting is Khan, but side by side. Jab is there as well. Jab got the undercut. It's a 4-car battle for the podium. Polo's ahead. Now his challenge is Pluto and possibly Gagi for the win. There's a yellow flag. That is an Alfa Romeo of Lando. Chungus and Pluto. There's Polo side by side. There's contact. Polo back down the inside. Gonna be side by side. Chungus in the barrier and he's out. Is this gonna bring out a safety car? It has. Jab is ahead of Polo at the time being. Oh my goodness. Wow.
The one thing Blue Gagi did not want to see.
No, definitely not. He's going to be challenged by Pluto, Jab, and Polo, and Aaron O'Connor's got a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. Polo and Chungus come together at the same corner Jab and Pluto did.
And we were talking about earlier, you know, the luck with Chungus.
Wow.
And the controversy. It's another controversial incident for Chungus.
I don't even know who really, I guess, is at fault there, because I could blame it on the contact model, I could blame it on Polo just slightly tapping him, I could blame it on Polo
I couldn't really tell.
for not leaving enough room. I don't know. That's more different than I think the Jab and Pluto one, because Pluto, I think, pinched Jab a little bit, whether or not Pluto or Jab, whoever was ahead, right? But Chungus and Polo were quite side by side, and the slightest contact put Chungus in the barrier. Man, you're right. Gagi did not want to see that at all. That's the one thing he did not need.
If Gagi doesn't win this race, you have to feel for him.
Feel for that safety car. Yeah, and now Jab puts himself up to a podium spot. Kostag, who is down in the lower points positions, he might not lose out too much on the points. He's 5th right now. My adrenaline is running, I must say. You know, yeah, mind you, it's, you know, a league race, whatever, you're commentating it. But even from the commentary standpoint, you have to, I guess, wonder what's going to happen in sense of Gagi, in sense of Jab for a first podium, Polo God returning to the podium as well. Round 5 was where he took his first podium in Season 1. Even Jab, I mentioned, 4 of the last 5 races he's been in contention and on the podium, or at least running in a podium spot, but didn't get it. Is he going to make it 5 or 6, or is that drought going to be gone today?
I don't know. It's yeah, it's a very questionable. We're gonna go green with, I would probably say 3 or 4 laps to go. But I don't know. This is just this final safety car restart is going to be the key moment of this race.
Still have Kostag yet to catch up, Shot yet to catch up, and I mean, I know it's the safety car is going slow, but I don't even know if all of them are going to catch up by the time the safety car wants to go in, because of the fact, look at how behind, we'll even say, Raindrop is now in the lead lap, or, sorry, not in the lead lap, I'm sorry, Aaron Ocon, the last car in the lead lap, look at how far they're behind. Safety cars usually only lap for 3 or 4 laps as Lando pits, but I really sort of wonder if the whole field will get caught up, especially because, you know, even at full speed, I don't even know if everyone's going to catch up in time. That's a big question right here in this position.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be so interesting. I can't wait.
Kostag's caught up. Racecracker's caught up. Racecracker's at the wall. Shot also, quiet race from him in 7th. Fair play to him. I mean, I kind of have to say, with Shot, how he's been 7th, he's been quiet, not really done much, but he's been lurking in the points all race, or just barely in it, right? And a race like this one is kind of one you kind of need to take advantage of, and with the cars in front of you, who, you know what, they can have anything happen, and if he gets caught up here in time for this restart, which he should be able to get with Calm and Riles, he can definitely challenge for a top 5, or at least the best finish on this league, which was previously 6th at Australia.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know what to think. I'm my head just goes back to that incident with Chungus and Polo.
Polo, yeah. I think the same thing too, because I don't know whether the slightest contact put him in the wall or what. I don't know. I don't know what the stewards are going to rule that as. Polo might be at fault, Polo might not. I don't know. I mean, you can blame that on whatever you want, but at the end of the day, though, it's like, these are tougher conditions to save the car. Chungus is going in the wall immediately from that contact. You can say what you want. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to pinpoint the blame on one person, especially when it happens live. So we'll have to find out, based off of any sort of replay, who's at fault. Shots catching up to the safety car. Com should, and so should Riles. I don't know if the ones behind with Will, TJR, and the rest of the people for 10th place on back will, but we'll have at least this time, I think, 4 laps to go if we do restart. So Gagi's just got to simply hold the lead, defend for his life, and block the track, really, for the last 4 laps.
Well, something else that's interesting is Raindrop is in between Polo and Kostag.
Right. I mean, the rule definitely is that you have to let the if you're a blue flag car, you have to let the other lead lap cars go unless you can pull out a second within a lap or whatever, right? But the point here for Raindrop and, you know, being in between Polo and Kostag is that's gonna hurt Kostag trying to catch Polo on this restart, at least if it does come in this time or whatever it is, right? So I don't know. I think the good thing for this is I don't think really it will come in this time. Maybe next time, but let's say it does come in next time. The less racing laps for Gagi, the less chance of Pluto or anyone behind to pass him. So I think that's the good thing he's pumping the air about. Now, yeah, you mentioned Kostag, Polo. I mean, that allows kind of, I guess, Polo to challenge Jab, I guess, right? And Jab to challenge Pluto more. And everyone else to fight behind them while Kostag, Racecracker, and Shot and the rest of the field try to catch up to 4th place and possibly even the podium. Racecracker has the penalty, by the way. Penalty check. Racecracker is 3 seconds. Will, 3 seconds. TJR, 3. Foley, 3. HG range up 3, and a drive-through still to serve for Aaron Ocon.
This is...
Oh, did Gagi go in the wall under the safety car? He did! He has binned it from the lead!
No.
And that is it for him and his chance to win, I think, because that is damage. Oh my goodness. This race has just changed once more. He does have damage on the end plate. That is it for him. In the contention for the win, possibly. Now Pluto leads this race. Lando Norris is out of the race in the pit lane, by the way. Now we're down to 14 runners. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not seeing anyone say anything from chat, but I must say, yikes. Once they do see that, they are going to be concerned. Is Pluto going to get challenged from Gagi still? What's going to happen? Jab is going to be in a position to challenge. Polo will be. Now Kostag. That's shot into the mix too. 7th place. I do have to feel, but was it a mistake? Was he hit? I don't know. I didn't see it. I just looked up and he was in the wall. Wow. But hey, even though the safety car is in, will that damage help him somewhat? At least because of the slower racing speed. I don't know. We'll have to find out. 3 laps to go here in this restart for a final chance for this win. Man, has this race just changed drastically. What looked like a race from start to finish that Gagi was going to win, Pluto's now in contention. And somehow he finds a way to lead this race from being barely on the podium, barely keeping it, being in contention, being in a battle all race. He's now leading and in control of the safety car restart, as the safety car will come in this time. The top 13 should be caught up. Pluto, the lone leader. Gagi's being limited on his throttle. I can see it from the game. He can't go any faster than he can right now. And Jab is trying to pull alongside to pass. Gagi spins! On this restart, Jab is going, and look at the gap between Gagi and, or really, Jab and Pluto. This is big. It's limited their throttle from Pluto to the rest of the field, and that's allowed Pluto to have a 4-second lead. And that's dropped Gagi out of the points. And now Aaron is spun. What is happening in this race? Polo to a podium. Jab onto the podium. Shot net P5. Oh my goodness. What is happening? Fully and fully goes by TJR. There's contact there for the position. Kostag challenging Polo. Gagi is out now. Kostag down the inside of Polo God. He's gonna go through. There's contact. They go wide. Can Jab hunt down Pluto? Now Rice Cracker on the outside. He's out. Oh my goodness. The race that only saw 15 runners left is now seeing 11. What is happening in this race? Kostag up to the podium. Jab currently holds it for second. Riles is challenging Calm. I can't even put my head past this. I don't even know if I'm in the world right now.
So
What
much
is
is
going on?
happening.
What in the world? Riles behind Calm, also challenging. What has just happened to this race? 3.5 now for Jab and Pluto, by the way.
I mean, dude, there's nothing Gagi could do on that restart. The game was literally like it wouldn't let him go any faster.
Limiting his throttle. Limiting his throttle. He couldn't do anything. Even Pluto got out to a lead from that. And I must say, he's not going to challenge from anybody because look at this. Jab is even gaining on him right now. We can say what we want, but I feel like a little luck involved with Pluto pulling away as much as he has. I mean, wow. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. Polo God trying to use overtake to try to get challenge back. Calm has lost the rear, allowing Riles to go through. What a weird finish this race is. We've now got 2 laps to go. .9 now, 2.9 even between Jab and Kostag. What is just going on? Aaron has to serve that drive-through. He's 11th right now, just shy of points. Oh my god. Yeah, between the podium, 1.1 again between Polo and Kostag. Shot is also there. Riles is there. I don't even think I could wrap my head around this properly, Thrasher.
I know I can't.
Not even the Gagi stuff. Limiting the throttle on the restart, then everything else that happened after that. I mean, Pluto got a 4-second lead from that. He basically got handed no competition on that restart. You can say what you want. You can say what you want about the driver in second, with Pluto at the time taking advantage of what happened to Gagi. Right, whatever. But he doesn't even have a chance to really be overtaken or anything. No chance for anything right there. And a lot of people definitely questioning the legitimacy of does Pluto belong in the Haas. We now see Riles and Shot side by side between the two reserves going wheel to wheel. Shot pinches Riles out. Riles has to take the runoff and comes back on alongside. Riles in the wall and he's out. Or sorry, Shot in the wall and he's out. Those Riles are on the outside there, and that's now 10 retirements with 10 finishers. Oh my god. 2.3 now, that gap between the lead. 1 lap to go. With Pluto leading. .2 between Jab and Pluto. I mean, I don't know if Jab is pushing that much to gain on Pluto, and Pluto's holding not that much to win, but I mean, Pluto doesn't even have to push that much because of how big of a gap he has. Being challenged 2.1, 2.0. Jab is trying to close in for a first win, let alone a first podium, and Polo God's trying to challenge back still. Aaron Ocon, yet to see the points this season. He could score his first point in this race as long as he finishes the race. TJR is looking at points. Florian Foley on a return looking for points. Both Mercedes in the points. 1.8 now. 1.6. Pluto definitely struggling a little bit. Got 100% battery, surely. You just block the track and hold on, really. That's how much of a gap he's pulled. Polo and Riles still close for this podium. If anything happens to Kostag, we could see Polo take advantage. We could see Riles take advantage, but the gap between the lead, 1.5, and it's just coming down. If Pluto is pushing this much, Jab is really gained. If Pluto's not pushing this much, or is pushing this much, then Jab is still really gained. Regardless, he doesn't even have to push a whole lot. Riles goes by Polo for 4th. Jab is under a second almost for this win. Trying for a first podium as well. Jab is under a second. Pluto slides! Thinking he'll tap the barrier. He's going to have to hold on in the final couple of corners. He's getting challenged. He had a 4-second lead. Now he's going to have to hold on in the final couple of corners. Can he hold on? Pluto took advantage of Gagi's mistake, and now Jab is closed up. Can Jab say something in the final couple of corners? I don't think so. It's going to be a run to the finish at least. Pluto is gonna hold on, I think. Pluto wins in Singapore for a 3rd win of the season. He's now got the most all-time wins, while Kostag holds on for a final podium spot, and Jab is finally gonna see the podium for the first time, while Polo God crashes crossing the line. What
One
in the
more
world?
lap, and Jab had Pluto.
Yeah. Wow. And Aaron Ocon just needs to finish this race simply to get a point. First point of the season it would be. Jab finally breaks a podium. Freak from him. Was 11 races, sorry, 12. This was the 12th race. And he had scored a podium previously. Aaron Ocon crosses the line. He will finish in the points. Wow. Wow. Well, there you have it.
Ah, bro, justice for Goggy.
Was that the longest race? Let me check the time stats for that.
What time
It was
is it?
pretty long. It was pretty
Oh
long.
my, it
Two
felt like
thirty.
it.
It's 2:30. It did feel like it. I want to check if it is. Longest race was 62 minutes, 10 seconds in season 1 of Singapore. How long did this take? It took 60 minutes for this race. Keep in mind we did have the restarts though, so that is also included. But well, hello, podium sitters.
Hello.
I don't care, justice for Goggy.
Welcome along to the podium jab.
Bot.
Well, let's start with our podium sitters. We'll start with Kostag.
Hello.
Kostag, yeah, how did you manage a podium out of that? At least I guess that doesn't hurt too badly when it comes to the championship gap between you and Pluto. I gotta sort of wonder, you fell back, you were on the fringe of points gained back, you were like 5th, 6th, and then you automatically take a podium from this. Walk us through what happened, I guess, in the last couple of laps and really just this whole race to take a wonky podium.
I think that was the most weird podium I've ever gotten. Like, off the start, I had okay pace on the horse for the first like 2-3 laps, and then I made a little mistake in the tight kind of bridge section, barely grazed the wall, got yellow damage, and then I had to box. Went on to the mediums and literally was doing time trial down like 16, 15, trying to get back at the people at the front, trying to get a massive undercut for the rain period, but. Um, Yeah, I mean, I had good pace on the mediums. I caught up a lot, and then just timed the stops on the wet tires correctly, both times, both on the inters and then the wets. Got in a good position, and then it was just try and survive from there. Made the move on polo, which was a bit shaky. I don't know, but apart from that, just kind of survival at the end.
Yeah. Did you feel like it was a race of being on the right tire at the right time? Because it looked like that was a matter of it from at least the commentator point of view.
Yeah. Um, I mean, it was kind of clear when we had to switch over to the tires, but the two VSCs and the safety car there at the end kind of like favored some people who had gotten past the pit, who hadn't gotten past the pit lane in that. So yeah, me and some other people kind of benefited from good positioning and then just getting on tires when the safety car was out. So we got a few positions out of that.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah.
had
Mhm.
the Belgium next, and what do you kind of expect now that we're a third of the way into the season?
I mean, I don't know. Pluto's a bit too quick at this point for me, I think. But I'm happy to keep second. I think that he's gotten like a massive lead at this point. So I don't know if I'm gonna catch him, but I'm alright with P2 if I can keep that.
Congratulations. Questions for Coach Tech?
No, just excellent drive back to the field during the chaos, and congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
All right, pass your take along our second place finisher, Jab. Make sure you include your audio.
Jab.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say. This crazy race throughout. Looked like you were struggling a little bit. You went early to go into the inters. Well, actually, you were on mediums, then you went to the hards, and then inters and wet. So you were 3 pit stop race for you. How do you feel like your race went overall through the chaos?
At the start, I don't know, I just really didn't feel connected with the mediums. But then the time I got on the hards, I really started doing really well, had really good pace. Inters, also some pretty good pace, but mostly down on the full wets. That's when I really felt the Williams actually could, be a car for once, and almost had blue at the end.
Yeah. So take me through your like your point of view of the last restart.
For one, Goggy, RIP, died into the wall. We just got Pluto, clean air. And then like I don't know if Gotti was still in the race or not. I don't know what was going on, if that was his AR, but like he started like really backing off of Pluto, and obviously I can't overtake him. No. Then on the restart, when everything went green, he spun into the wall. So I was a little bit mad about that. I don't know if there was something wrong or not. And then I also left him with extremely cold tires. I'm talking like 0 degrees, you know. And so it took a couple of laps to get those rolling, but once they did, now I think if Goggy didn't, die into the wall or he asked to stay close, I think I could have got Pluto. But we'll take it.
Congratulations on P2. Well deserved. Ryan, you got any questions?
Is this a sigh of relief now? Are we going to see more podiums? So you finally got your first now.
Well, maybe not. We're just gonna have to see. What's the next track? Belgium, I think.
Yes.
This Williams already sucks in a straight line, but so we'll see what happens. But hopefully it'll be Alex Albon. We go on the straights and get another podium.
Congrats on P2.
Thanks.
First podium as well. Now to our race winner, Pluto. Pluto, I mean, it looked like the first half you were, I guess, struggling. You fell back from Chungus. I know that was probably the hards, but I sort of wondered. I'm like, he's just probably going to take a podium. I don't see him winning this race. Gaggy's out in front, and then the safety car comes out, and you're also in a 4-car train before then with Polo, Jab, yourself, and Chungus, and you guys are trying to chase down Gaggy while you can, even with his lag out. With that safety car, that helps it. What happened after that point? What was the mindset for you in order to win the race?
Well, I never really expected to be in a position to be able to win the race. It was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what he was doing. He just span off on the safety car, bonked into the wall, broke his wing, and then on the safety car restart, backs off 4 seconds behind me. What's he doing?
Well, you had the battle with Chungus. You had the battle with Jab. I know there was contact earlier in the race. I think at turn 8, turn 9. The right-hander. We saw Polo and Chungus also make contact there. What happened there? Because I kind of sort of wonder, do you feel like a lot of the contact model had to do anything with that? Because we saw the incident with Polo and Chungus. I think that is something that had to do with that. What had to do with you and Jab slightly making contact, and did that affect you at all at that point in the race early on?
No, he needs to back out. It was the point of the corner where I'm heading towards the wall, and he's the car that's behind, so he backs out. As simple as.
When it comes to the thing I asked Kostag with the right tire, right time, was it a matter of that too? Because both pit stops, Polo God was able to challenge back up to you guys after being about 11 seconds back, and he was able to get back in the contention for the podium. Do you feel like that showed it was a matter of right tire, right time, and was, I guess, your pit stops timed right with when you pitted for inners and then wets?
No, I was a lap late both times, unfortunately. The first time it just started to drizzle on the in lap for Goggy. I thought, okay, well it's gonna be another lap or two until it goes to inters, and then it just absolutely chucks it down. The surface was terrible. And was it a safety car that got downgraded to a VSC? Because we were really confused in the party. We thought it was a safety car initially, and I didn't think that was possible. I don't know if it was a glitch or if we just read it wrong. But yeah, and everyone got to pit on the VSC while we were out struggling on slicks in pissing it down weather. And then the full wets, it was absolutely chucking it down. It was impossible to drive on the inters at that point. But the safety car was out, so... Oh, was it out? I can't remember. I don't know if we had a VSC or something, because I can't remember.
There's 2 VSCs and 1 safety car.
Yeah. Was there a VSC when people pitted for wets?
I think so.
Yeah. That's what annoyed me, because everyone else got the advantage, and again, me and Chungus were miles ahead of the pit lane when it went. And yeah, Polo got right into it. That was really exciting. And then an incident happened. What was all that about?
Chungus and Polo came together.
What happened there?
It was the same corner
Pretty
with
much
you
you
and
and Jab.
Jab, but I don't know if Chungus and Polo were both fully alongside or what. I don't know. I'd have to watch back. There's so much happened in that race though, and I want to ask about that restart though. Gagi mentioned in the main chat just a couple minutes ago, he didn't have control of his car, and then as soon as he got the control back, he spun out. You got out to a 4-second lead from that. Was it cruise control from that point, or were you still pushing because Jeb was catching you and he almost had you there at the finish?
I was really pushing until the last lap. The last lap took it easy because you don't want to crash out on the last lap, like Jab did actually in ARL Baku. You don't want to do that. So I backed up at that point. Yeah, but the rest of the time I was actually scared he was going to catch me. I was trying.
5 podiums in a row now, and next week could tie a record of 60 you had back in season 1. Even 3 wins to start off the season. You're miles ahead in the championship. I mean, where do we even start about that? And Haas now leads the constructors still too. So where do we even start with that? What is the expectation for?
Everyone keeps crashing around me. I don't know what's going on because I'm never the fastest driver. I was miles off the pace today. Chungus was miles up the road. I couldn't do anything about him. Jab was so much quicker than me today, and I just managed to keep him behind until the mediums dropped off. But yeah, everyone's either crashing around me, getting penalties in front of me, or having terrible qualifyings and bottling the race or something. It's ridiculous. I just want people to stop crashing because then it'll be a lot more fun.
Yeah, you mentioned that in this regards to my last question. I after a third of the season, I see a lot of people talk about your car placement. I see a lot of people talk about, he's the one who does car placements. If he doesn't get it changed, it's rigged. But is that why you think you're getting the results you have? I mean, you've got 5 podiums in 5 races now, and you did get 6 podiums in a row with the Williams in season 1. Is that part of it?
Yeah,
you think?
exactly.
What is the matter of it?
I'm not too fast for the car, because if I was too fast for the car, I would have had pole in Singapore by 6/10, as Sam did in the season 1. But no, I was out-qualified by someone who hasn't been on the pace at all this season. So I'm in the right car because I'm on pace with the leader, second place, and it's been like 2/10 separates the top 6 in the majority of qualifyings. So it's just the fact that people keep crashing, getting penalties or bottling the race entirely. And I've had the best strategies these races as well.
I seem to disagree. I think today you were trying to do it on purpose. You weren't trying to be the fastest car on purpose. I think
Seriously?
that's what really happened tonight.
Do you think I'm...
That was a joke.
Do you think I'm really the type of person to slow down? I was doing everything to keep...
Last 4 laps. No, kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, last couple laps you had to make
kidding.
it seem close.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, congratulations on the win. That is 3 wins now to start the season. Thrasher, any questions?
No. I don't really have any questions, but just overall congratulations on a win.
Thank you.
I agree with that. I agree. I feel like looking back at these races, Thrasher, there was a lot of people who were in contention today. And you know what? We now go to Belgium, a track where we could see a lot of what we saw last season in certain races, such as Britain, such as, include Brazil, where, maybe people might not be able to pass in certain spots of the track or whatever, but it's a DRS train. It's got everyone close apart to where, like Pluto said, everyone's there to challenge. Everyone's there to hopefully not make mistakes and crash into each other to allow a podium, because we saw Gagi who was faster. We saw Chungus who was faster. Even Paulo was faster at a couple of points. Jab was there. There was so much that got on today's race. It's a matter of what we're going to expect in Belgium, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. Next week is going to be more interesting, just because it's such a different track compared to Singapore. Obviously, I don't know if I will be there to watch it. I'll let you know in the future with college starting up. But yeah, it was a great race today. Wish we would have had it. We started off great with not many retirements, but towards the end it got messy. But other than that, great battling, great racing throughout the field. And hopefully it carries on to on the next week.
And speaking of next week, we got Belgium, September 11th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. So, catch us next Sunday for that race. Tune in. And until then, goodbye.